Why does it always seem like I'm moving backwards? Caught up in a dream, everybody's actors. Why does it always seem like people change faces and nothing is real? I've seen better days. Yeah, you know, I've been through some things. Yeah, I've been sending prayers through the roof. Oh, truth. Yeah. Don't need all the answers, just tell me what life is for. One day I'ma wake up with a reaper at the door. Don't need all the answers, just say anything at all. I've been praying for a minute, I've been waiting on your call. Oh, need all the answers, just tell me what life is for. One day I'ma wake up with a reaper at the door. Don't need all the answers, just say anything at all. I've been praying for a minute, I've been waiting on your call. Oh, I've been waiting on your call. Oh, yeah. I've been waiting on your call. Oh, I've been waiting on your call. Oh, I've been praying for a minute, I've been waiting on your call. Oh, I've been waiting on your call. Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. I've been so patient with you, don't you know? I've been so down with you, and you know it. You never come around, and I show it. Just give me one chance right now, and I won't blow it. I won't blow it. Oh. And you know, I've seen better days. Yeah, you know, I've been through some things. Yeah, I've been sending prayers through the roof. Oh, truth. Yeah. Don't need all the answers, just tell me what life is for. One day I'ma wake up with a reaper at the door. Don't need all the answers, just say anything at all. I've been praying for a minute, I've been waiting on your call. Oh, need all the answers, just tell me what life is for. One day I'ma wake up with a reaper at the door. Don't need all the answers, just say anything at all. I've been praying for a minute, I've been waiting on your call. Oh, I've been waiting on you, yeah. I've been waiting on your call. Oh, I've been waiting on your call. Been waiting on your call right now. I wanna hear your voice somehow, yeah. I've been waiting on your call. Oh.
Hey,
Let's get connected.
connected. Let me be the calm when it get hectic. Let me be the one knowing you left it. Connected. Let's just hit the plug and get connected. Feel it through your body, don't want my lecture. Let's get
If you feel the way I do, go make your move. 'Cause I need you to help me for the night. So feel the way I do, go make your move. 'Cause I need you.
giving you perfection. Can't wait to make you my selection. One side, let's get connected. West side, let's get connected. East side, let's get connected. South side, let's get connected. Worldwide, let's get connected. Local side, let's get connected. Online, let's disconnect it. Offline, let's get connected. Let's get connected. The way I do. 'Cause I need you to help me for the night. The way I do. 'Cause I need you to help me too. One side, let's get connected. West side, let's get connected. East side, let's get connected. South side, let's get connected. Worldwide, let's get connected. Local side, let's get connected. Online, let's disconnect it. Offline, let's get connected.
We are here with yet another week of Valorant. Sunday was quite some excitement, and now on Monday we hope to close it out. This is going to be the end of week number 5, as we've had an amazing round of matches. Teams are now locking in their positions, whether at the top, middle, or the bottom, heading into the spring playoffs. I'm very excited to see what goes down. My name is Orbital. With me is Angel, and we will be your casters to the upcoming 2 series a little bit later than usual. Angel, we do have a banger of a first match. It is West Virginia University going up against Stony Brook University, both teams sitting at 2-2.
Yeah, this is really the battle for 4th place is what we're talking about, right? When we talk about the standings, it's these two teams who have had a bit of an up and down history here in the spring. West Virginia, a team coming off of a pretty successful fall split, losing their IGL and Enox, bringing in Leone to this roster as the new IGL, having to essentially reform their system as a core unit. They're looking pretty good, but then again, there have been some critics in the Valorant sphere that have wished for a bit more from this roster. So I think today, a really good testing ground for this team up against a Stony Brook University that has at times been able to challenge some of the best teams in Division 1.
Yeah, this time around, they've had a couple rough losses in and around. They were able to take a victory over Utah. They took a narrow victory over BSU, and then they faltered, right? And I 100% agree with you. This is a roster that we hope to see a little bit more, and this is the best time to do so. As you said, it's a battle for 4th, and they're going to try and take as much of that as they can. We're going to take a look at Stony Brook Nexus squad that has also had a pretty tough time. Ran into Maryville early on, same with Winthrop. So their 2 losses look a little bit more distinct, as they've actually been on a win streak so far. Took down Utah and OSU in their recent 3rd and 4th match. Able, as well as Gunny, Majestic, Tonka, and Thomas, still largely untested though, in our opinion, especially going up against another kind of middle of the pack to higher tier here in Div 1.
Yeah, I mean, these 2 teams are like the perfect example of the mid-tier in Division 1, right? They still can punch up. They should be able to beat the teams that we would, think of as a little below them in the power rankings. But Stony Brook has been a bit more spotty in this spring semester so far. They have made some very minor roster changes between the fall and now, but really the bulk of this for both of the teams is the development of the meta and how both of them have adapted to the meta, and some of the roster changes that they've made and how they can function as a unit of 5 is really what's been tested here in the spring. And so that's what we're looking for in today, is how cohesively do these 5 players actually work together. You know, it's one of the strengths we've seen for West Virginia is just their willingness to dive on a call. Whereas for Stony Brook, we're seeing a lot of individual prowess, and it's working out really well for them. But you want to see a little bit more cohesion as a team in order for them to find success.
And I would say, especially considering Stony Brook are on a 2-series run right now, we want to see that cohesion come together when they're tested a little bit more. For West Virginia, we also don't want to see them kind of weighed down by the losses earlier. That's really the main distinction, is one team is coming off a 2-series loss and one team is coming in off of a 2-series win, and how does that kind of balance out? So I love, Angel, that you have been able to kind of point out these very specific points that we really do need to see them grow. We don't just want to see a win on the board, although a win is, you know, the baseline. Obviously we need to see improvement, we need to see growth forward, and not that they're just going to kind of whittle away here in the middle. However, at the bottom line, once again, it is that win that they need to hone in for first. We had 3 maps up for you here today. I believe I heard it was Bind, Haven, and then Corrode. It's collegiate, okay? Guys, you can't get mad at us for what they decide to draft. At least we got some spice of life in there for Corrode, and with the announcement of the new competitive map rotation here, I mean, maybe we get to see some fluctuation, but at least for the series, it's staying the same.
Yeah, we'll see Fracture and Lotus coming back into the pool around the time that playoffs happen, which I think is going to be a good change. But when we're talking about the remainder of this current map pool, I think it makes a lot of sense that we're going to see Bind. These are 2 teams that have performed very evenly, so to speak, on Bind. It's been a very back and forth affair for both teams across all of the maps, right? You think about specifically what Boise State was like against West Virginia. I'm pretty sure that game of Bind went into overtime. But Stony Brook, very comfortable on a map like Haven. West Virginia, not afraid to go there as well. Completely understand why that was that first pick. Bind for West Virginia, 100% makes sense. This Corrode thing is weird to me. I can't lie. I get it, because I think both of these teams can show some form of strength on this map. I think especially with some of the stranger comps that Stony Brook has run in the past, I think it would work really well on Corrode. But I really want to see what Haven looks like first for Stony Brook, and also from West Virginia to a certain extent, because if we see the form of these West Virginia players start off hot on Haven, then there's a really good chance that this doesn't even go to Corrode.
Yeah, I mean, this is one of those moments that I do agree. There's a very high chance that we don't, well, I don't want to say a high chance. There is a chance we don't see Corrode, and you and I were kind of discussing this as well. These 2 teams on paper seem very, very neutral. There is neither team, until they actually get into map 1, which I really like that you pointed out, on Haven is going to be that testing ground. We need to see these opening rounds actually go one way or another, and we don't want to see a bounce. I want to see, obviously, 3 standard play earlier, 2-1, whatever you want to call it, and then I want to see concise gunplay. You know, I want to see the callouts, I want to see the rotations from these squads to give us a hint at how map 2 and 3 is going to play. You and I posited this, which I think is a very fair assumption. If it only goes 2 maps, there's a very high likelihood it is going to be close. We're looking at a 13-9, 13-10, or I put it out there, I think it could go to OT. That I think those are really the only 2 scenarios where we see this go to 2-map situation. We're getting OT, double OT, maybe even.
Okay, let's hold our horses. Let's get there first before we start calling for double OTs. But this is the thing that you're going to watch out for, okay? It's a very interesting dynamic battle that we have going on between West Virginia and Stony Brook. If you're a West Virginia fan, what you're looking for from them is the form. Are West Virginia players in good form? Are they hitting their shots? Are they making good individual plays? For Stony Brook, if you're a Stony Brook fan, you're looking for good fit. Is there a good team cohesion going on in Stony Brook? Are they reacting to calls fast? Are they making proactive plays as a team? And it's not just individuals making hero plays to clutch up rounds. If West Virginia can be on form, or if Stony Brook can find their fit, that's who's going to win the series today. And we'll find that on Haven, because that's a comfortable map, right? If you've played Haven for so long, you know all the headshot angles on Haven. You know exactly where your crosshair needs to be placed for West Virginia, and for Stony Brook, you've had like 5 years to scrim this map as a player. So you should have some basic ideas of calls that you can do either on attack or on defense to help make individual advantages for your team.
Yeah, I will stand behind that as well. This is, again, it's a learning period, but we really do need to see if these teams can pass the test that has been laid before them. Because they only have about 2 more weeks until they head into that playoff side, and whoever sits at that, 6th, 7th, 8th place position, you're not going to be running into some very fun opponents. There's a high likelihood that you're running into either, you're looking at Maryville, you're looking at maybe St. Clair, Maryville I think is obviously sitting at the number 1. That'll be a fun match, by the way, watching into that week 7 as they go up against top dogs, undefeated records and all. But you are going to be hitting a very rough wall. It is undoubtedly a situation where we do need to see some identity in there. So a little bit of future calling again for Stony Brook and West Virginia. We've given you a test. Let's see how it plays out. Again, thank you everyone for being so patient. I understand we started a little bit later. I know the teams were very excited, but we are just making sure to scrub out any of the technical difficulties, make sure we can get in and fly as soon as we can with this matchup.
Yeah, it's just that unfortunate winter weather. The blizzard going on the East Coast did affect both of these teams just a little bit, so we're dealing with just a couple more, I think, players individually connecting to the lobby, and then after that we'll get in. But I mean, let's talk about some of these hypotheticals here. Let's kind of game plan our way into what a map 3 scenario looks like, right? Because if we're talking about map 1, right? Let's say we have the double negative, right? Where Stony Brook's struggling on the calls, but West Virginia's struggling on the individual performance, right?
Ooh, okay.
Who do we think on paper would take that?
Ooh.
Just let's kind of be gutsy here. Like, do we say Stony Brook would take that just off of individual prowess and the fact that they're comfortable on Haven because that was their pick? Or do we give it to West Virginia because they're a stronger calling unit?
So here, okay, number 1, Angel, I hate when you do this to me because I'm the one that's supposed to ask the question. I'm not trying to use my brain this early into the map, okay? Like, that's not cool. Number 2, I have a very bad bias, and I've realized this about myself. I tend to lean into the bias of anytime things go sideways, I will lean on individual talent to pull you out of a game. I always feel when teams are won in a clinical fashion, it does come from macro. But when it comes to scrambles, when we come to matches where things go a little bit sideways and matches just look a little bit weird, I do tend to rely on individual talent to step on up. So if we're talking about these 2 teams, I mean, if they aren't able to ace the test, I do expect Stony Brook to come out with a little bit higher score as we are looking at Haven. Interesting agents as Viper and Viper for Majestic and Thomas. Obviously, we got that cleaned up.
we got 3 Vipers in the server. I think one of them's an Omen. Is what actually is happening. My guess is that it's Thomas on the Omen.
Yep.
But yeah, this pretty standard comps out. West Virginia, we know we love seeing Dinks on the Neon. He's kind of made it his specialty agent. But Stony Brook, it's able on this Yoru. Sheila Gaming 6767. It's Abel himself. Don't get it twisted.
I like it. We're going ahead and start things off with quick pin as Leon. Okay. Whatever we talked about went out the window right there.
That's
Angel, that was West Virginia going crazy on the opener.
Get it done, Landon. That's 3 down. Might as well. Leone making a big impact here in the pistol round.
Screen down.
Inexperienced IGL, but he still knows how to shoot.
Yeah,
tell you what.
That was the opener. Thomas, though, looking a little bit of a weird way, and Goosh is able to slam down one with the classic. Strong play with 1 left alive, and Big Tonka stepping up here in the Tonka trucks. Might have something to say. Goosh looking to that left side and hiding outside of that smoke.
No
Tonka
way.
is able to make their way through mid, but go ahead and see it. That B-side port. We'll leave it to West Virginia with Leone up ahead to claim that round.
There you go. West Virginia get it done. Good play off of Gucci and even better from Leone. Getting a third of the way to that lockdown really early on in this half. It's now going to be that buy up. And Stony Brook, I like this approach. We've seen a lot of teams recently going for the upgraded weapons here in round number 2, going for that force buy. Stony Brook decide against it, considering they didn't get the spike plant here in that pistol. They opt to just try and find a quick kill with the classics and scale. But Gucci, he's got that Vandal posted up and ready.
I think with that box, you kind of recognize it. Dinks just hovering for a moment, but the rest of Stony Brook positioning towards mid to be once again. Dinks with a great shot, drops Thomas in the body. Goosh is able to see one body, floats in a sphere. Maybe not exactly where they wish. You get eyed on so many more. Leone, though, again with that Sheriff. A total of 5 here between 2 rounds. Ridiculous. Make it 6. Just make it look even better. What is this West Virginia powerful opening team?
Yeah, this is the classic Leone Kovacs opening, where he was just on Kovacs for 3 hours before this game started. He was the first guy to his PC today, and he just said, you know what? While everyone else is figuring out these tech issues, I'm going on to AIM Labs, doing my spider shot. That's how we got these flicks with the Sheriff to look so nice. But it's okay for Stony Brook, because at the very least, they have the weaponry here in round number 3. They can really try and punish this A site. And that is going to be a little bit tough, considering Dink's still on this Marshall here in round 3.
For Dinks, still holding that corner, but that's way closer. Dinks! Okay, it's not just Leone, it's Dinks as well. Are the rest, is everyone else there too? Like, well, like what's going on? Excite, do it. Do it. Come on. Everyone else is on one. Everyone else is on one.
Stinger kill.
We want to see it so bad, dude.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh, look at this.
It's probably gearing up for this to happen, unless Majestic has a read that Excite is in this corner, because if Majestic doesn't clear this, it might be cooked.
Oh!
The shoulder.
Okay, that's one. Big dub for Stony Brook. Can they get more? Dinks now face to face with a 1v1. Not faked out by that clone. Reels down the way. A push straight away. 3 entering in. That's gonna be the shot. XLG stuck in that corner. Gunny though, helping out with a shot on Goosh. It leads it to Stony Brook as they enter and get their first plant down. But Leone is still holding on. A77 losing their life on the entry. Leone reaching in from the backside. Long A. Picked up a gun. 24 bullets. Needs to pull off a 1v3. Unable to do it as Majestic closes it out. Stony Brook wiping the sweat from their forehead. They keep the early rounds neutral. 2-1 start.
And this was a really solid call by Stony Brook, sure. Good openers from Dinks. But ultimately, you have the weapon advantage. Go slam that A site, and that's exactly what they did. Abel did a really good job on that entry when they got deep into the site. Completely neutralized the Dinks and Gucci hold. They did enough to get that first round on the board, but now that West Virginia gets a buy of their own and have considerably stacked up this A site, Dinks off already on a roll.
All right, Dinks, we're done. We're done. Pack it up. You stole Leone's, flare, and you do it again. Abel goes down. This time a chase by Tonka. Gets some revenge. A hefty weapon dropped. A77, can you advance with that extra space given in a 2-for-1 trade-off?
Yeah, the problem is now for Stony Brook is you lost the 2 guys that were the best at making space for the team. So you really have to rely on catching a West Virginia player out. The only problem is you don't have the numbers. So West Virginia, they have no reason to go and push for information. They'd rather just keep their defenses spread a little bit, try and keep track of every single possibility for the map. So sure, you can get onto the C site, but it's not like it's going to be easy to hold it at all. You have all that Sova utility used to clear out. You have to hope that Gunny can get a little bit of space here,
30
just
seconds
hold on
left.
deep in backside.
Looks like they're going to try and pull that off. West Virginia, 2 posted up towards CT. This crossfire might be ugly for Gunny. Poor Gunny did not know where to look.
player
Excite
standing.
able to open up strong. And with West Virginia having guns in hand, Tonka can only take 1 to the grave before. Well played by West Virginia, keeping 3 alive here in the 4th, putting themselves 3-1.
Yeah, and it was a great play by Dinks. Again, double opener off the op, out of garage. Good flicks to get it done. And they get to keep that off
Watch
here
them
into
run
round
when we
5,
finish.
too. So that's going to make things
when we
even
start.
tougher for Stony Brook. Sure, you were able to get the spike plant, boost your own economy a little bit, but without that crucial round win, it's not like you're going to be able to afford a full reinvestment here. You can see some sheriffs across the board maybe able to go for a hero rifle, hero guardian in that case. But lockdowns available for both sides. So maybe Stony Brook could force that out, but do you want to use that on Nico?
Label was able to open up with 1, but Dinks is still on 1 as well. Doubles up there in the lower. With the spike drop as well, it's a problem for Stony Brook. Stony Brook in the opening rounds have really been unleveraged, and we mentioned that they did have struggles before in the shot calling. So far, they're following the shot calls. It's just Dinks and Leone shutting down in every which way on their own.
Yeah. Dinks alongside Excite did a really good job shutting down the A side of the map. Leone, all he has to do is just let his
grenade
Sentinel
out.
utility do the job for him. 77's here to pick up the slack, but with utility gone and Thomas on alert here. Oh, not being checked. Oh, this could be bad for West Virginia.
We say that with a pistol out, though, so I also,
Time
you
to
went
make
the opposite way, and A77 gets some A1 sauce on that kill.
Destroyed.
Poor
30 seconds
Tonka.
left.
Left alone, we'll get the plant, but that's about it.
Well, hold on.
Spike planted.
You could take 1. You could take Leone right here. Oh. Never mind. Yeah, all that utility coming your way. Try to get peeked by 3 different angles.
Yeah.
Ugh, it might be a tough one. So, okay, West Virginia, they grab a 4th. Stony Brook at the very least got the spike plant in that round. Able to reinvest fully now. Rifles in all 5 players' hands. It does give you a little bit of hope, though, considering how rough those first couple of rounds were for Stony Brook. But now they've got almost 3 ults to play with. Presumably, will be able to get this Dimensional Drift online in this round,
That would be the hope.
unless
it's for
Leone
Abel.
shenanigans ensue.
Yeah, I was about to say, there are some players that are just doing so well that it's shutting you down. And really, I'm not worried about the ults. I'm more worried about Stony Brook. Just trying to figure out where Leone and Dinks are going to be. At this point, they've narrowed down that Dinks is always going to be on this A1 side. The garage has been a huge push opportunity. Leone now being alone on this site with a long push up C, though. A77 surprises the heck out of him. And a long-range angle gives a Hunter's Fear to corral them even further. West Virginia playing the map like no other and getting
Spike down,
A77 to 3K. Big Tonka, 1 of 2 left alive, and for Thomas, the other. I don't think that engine's
Last
gonna
player
rev much
standing.
further. Excite shuts them down. Tonka takes 1, but now you're locked away in a crossfire, and Excite will take a second as well.
Yeah, West Virginia, confident 5-1 start. And again, it's this 1-2 punch of Leone and A77 over on that C site that just make it impossible to push through. You have the KJ utility doing such a good job at forcing so much attention towards Garage. And it was also the play from Stony Brook, and Leone keeps them busy alongside the Hunter's Fury from Excite. That A77 with all that space down long wins his 1 and completely shuts down the attack from Stony Brook. And now Dinks, up and hand out by Long. Thomas just ran into short here.
To be fair, they've tested this before, and they really don't want to go long. Short's the only option, it feels like. It will be a little bit more difficult. You can't really see that arm. though. Swings out, is able to lock down 2 more. And X-Sight comes around the corner to help out. Gunny, though, with a really nice 2-piece refrag down to about 10 points. Look at the set. Dinks him away. 10 HP, completely gone. And with that up, you know what they're going to do. Angel, we said this was going to be even. This is anything but by West Virginia.
Yeah, we talked about fit versus form coming into this map, and I think West Virginia are definitely in good form right now. Dinks 8-3, Leone and A77 both 7 kills apiece. The only player that's negative is Gucci, and it's not even because Gucci's playing bad. Gucci's just never in fights.
4 assists?
Yeah, right? He's just like, here guys, don't worry, I'm going to smoke. Play out of my smoke.
And I love this call as well. Dinks gonna try and mess with the Rays a little bit. Snipes 1, gives thought process, maybe bait with that operator. Swaps over to the Vandal that they dropped a little bit earlier, I believe. At least has him on the back end. A77 in the pocket though. Nobody checking them right now. Dares on the Fury to rat them out though. And this is Stony Brook to play the macro themselves. Utilize the Hunter's here, gives them a 2-piece, but Gooch is still able to fire back. Now in Garage, holding it down, cutting off that entryway. The entirety of Stony Brook leaning towards C long and sight. What will West Virginia do?
I mean, you have to hope that Dinks can find something here with the Vandal, because... Oh, wait a minute. It's good chip damage. But you need a little bit more than that. The problem is, when you're down players, and time continues to tick away, it's smoked off. He's gone.
1 enemy remaining.
Yep. Good job by Stony Brook. It was a decent investment with that Hunter's Fury and a rush on in. I don't dislike it.
I'm out of here.
Wasn't going to be the end, though. Yeah, West Virginia able to get in. Grabs one before the end. Dinks is able to make it at least a little bit more costly. But still, it's 1 round. Stony Brook not convincing in multi-round takes.
I don't hate that play by Dinks at all. You've won so many rounds in a row. What is it, the last 4 in a row? You're going to have a lot of money to reinvest here. You can see Operator in the hands of Dinks at no real detriment to the team's economy. So you might as well take down Majestic, force a little bit more money out from Stony Brook, make things a little bit harder here in the latter third of the first half. Get as much as you can. And West Virginia, 2 really strong defensive ults, both posited over the C site. The lockdown and that Viper's Pit being used off the rip. I mean, Stony Brook, this B site, they're going to look to try and scare Gucci away.
I think they scared Gucci a little bit more than they thought. Gucci unable to land a continuing shot. Instead, allows, able to walk on in, but says, hey, you walked a little bit too close. Gunning with the pre-fire to follow the traces. Locks down that refrag. Very well done. 1 for 1. However, the engagement on B is done. They know C is locked down by that Viper's Pit along the long side. Garage is still open, though, and they take their chance once again. Tonka, why you doing this? You know Dinks is on one right now.
A77's in this pit, and he walks out a little too hectic. Could have been scary. Ooh. No. Leone just sprays through the wall. And while sure, Gunny does get the trade onto Excite, it's still a 2v3. Dinks still has a ton of space given over, so you're going to see 2 on the flank. All Leone has to do is just try and deny a push into these really deep links, right? You don't want either A or C link being fully taken over by Stony Brook, but as we say that, Gunny and Majestic, they might go exploring.
I'm surprised they didn't try and chance Garage, so this will leave an empty site or pseudo-empty. Gunny floats back with the 3K, sniped into the arm, 25 HP. This is doable with the 2v2.
1
Take a
enemy
chance, dash on him, Majestic on high though,
standing.
and that gives the viewpoint. Gunny with a 4K. There's it up to take the pot. Well done, Stony Brook on their 3rd.
I mean, listen, we talked about hero plays, and a Gunny 4K will do it. Sure, first was through the smoke, but everything after that, that was just aim. It does grant Stony Brook a much-needed 3rd round, because if you look at the money for West Virginia, this is now the backs to the bank, okay? Where we're clearing out the vaults for this one. Dinks has to go down to the light shields in order to make this operator purchase work.
Time to jump.
And you look at this A site. Gucci and Excite both towards long, short, fully cleared. for the Stony Brook push.
Well, it's also the fact that Dinks is all the way on C long as well. Stony Brook taking a chance and being given a lot of that opportunity, but there's that backside scan Excite in a 1v1. Able to find it through the blind as well. Lockdowns contesting in the same corner pocket, meaning everyone might be locked down. You're walking through the storm. Tonka taking a chance. What a run. You will be locked, but the rest of your team has that right opportunity. No settlement, though, because take a look on the backside all the way in long. Dinks and the rest of the squad are roaming around. Abel was ready, though. Holds them to it. A77 burns through Thomas. We're down to a 3v3. Dinks ready to go. Sees a body. Doesn't know about the other. And now catches Majestic. Trying to enter sight. Problems abound, though, and that leaves Leone alive. One left as Big Tonka's got to make a big play here.
I got the spike.
But with almost every angle covered, you know you got to frag your way out. And you're going up against the Opera that has shut down this game thus far. But it might work if you get a lot closer to them. On the right side, though, and Dinks gets an easy 1-7 for West Virginia.
Yeah, I was like, Tonka, turn. No. Dinks turns first. It's enough. West Virginia, 7-round lead. Well, 4-round lead, 7 rounds on the board, but either way, Dinks 13-4 right now. And we talk about him as a player that can be very hit or miss for West Virginia, but man, he is showing up today. He has been putting on a very, very good performance throughout this semester. So continuing that trend, nothing but good things. Stony Brook, though, they have a Viper's Pit of their own. They would love to get a spike plant here. Possibly sneak away with round number 4.
Slow play is what they're going to challenge here. Big Viper's Pit being utilized by Stony Brook's side. Hunter's Fury ripping on through. Excite trying to find some marks. Gets nothing but slows them down. No spike plant either. Hooch on top, though. Playing within enemy territory, it feels like. And able to grab 2 on the back end. Bye-bye Viper's Pits. Stony Brook's investment completely nullified.
Yeah, but Tonka T, I was going to say, had some space over towards A, but Leone immediately closes that avenue, and now it's just Majestic with the judge.
What did West Virginia take, like, in the last few moments? It feels like this is a different team than we were slated to watch for. A team that has gone down 2 series in a row, finding a massive win back as Dinks gets the last. This is a West Virginia hungry to secure their top 4 placement.
Yeah, West Virginia is they're just out for blood today. That's really what it is. I think they heard us on the broadcast say that this was an even matchup, and they said, no, we don't want this to be viewed as an even matchup.
Yeah.
And have now started us. I mean, sure, they're starting. No, they're starting on defense. So you can't even argue, oh, attack-sided Haven. And it's not like West Virginia have been playing the retake. This is just straight goals.
Oh, good bait. Good bait, good damage. Forces things back a little bit, and you create a bit more space for yourself. Able to take some damage on the jump back. Yeah, default push by Tonka all the way through B. Might be able to snag one through the connector. Huge sees him around the side, though.
Wow.
And that timing yet again gives first blood to West Virginia.
It's these timings every single time for Stony Brook. West Virginia just absolutely have their number. Excite just gets to jump spot and fall back into the loving nest of all the Killjoy utility over by A. It's not like he has much to worry about. Plus, Leone will be right there for the rotate should he need it.
Nowhere to run!
Plenty of ways to run, though. Poor Gunny tries, actually catches the sight. Well done, but the wall drops. Leone grabs one before falling. And this will leave West Virginia in the 3v3, making it 3v2. A77, but Gunny pulls the Leone. Slams back, puts it to a 1v1. But with the gun diff there, it might be a whole slide, though. And Dinks with the shorty. Clutches up in disgusting fashion. Stony Brook, though, they are going play for play right now.
I've tried explosions.
Yeah, that one was a bit closer than you'd like.
If
you are a West Virginia fan, but Dinks gets it done. B-hopping shorty does enough to take that round, despite what you said. You know, maybe Gunny was pulling a Leone. But I mean, let's talk about Leone, right? The caller for this team has had a rough first half of his first semester in collegiate. Shows up to this team and now starts putting on a performance like this. I mean, this is going to be a scary West Virginia if this form continues, not just across this series, but into the weeks to come. Of course, we are getting a bit ahead of ourselves. We still have a whole other half of Haven to play, and for all we know,
True.
West Virginia crumbles. I don't think that's going to happen, though.
Now, just to get something else to say about that one, takes first blood. The rest of the team scatters in. West Virginia fully playing it, but Thomas was ready. Gucci fires away on one. Excite, ready to jump up, and Dinks is still saying they are the frag master, whether by pistol or off. Centerfield held, 3v3, low HP on one side. Stony Brook need able to stay alive, and a really nice fallback to see long. No chance Stony Brook puts anyone on the T-Lurk long rat position. Enable, I mean, you're stuck in between a rock and a hard place. I like where they're held. Good tap one. Out they swing. They see Abel in the back corner. Still waiting for two more bodies, but Dinks was ready faster on that trigger.
And
This is
Leone's-
West Virginia not stopping at all, it feels like, as Tonka trying to get the defusal, but Leone comes out from garage. Connection doesn't land, though, and Excite's going to hold it down. No time left, no life left as well. Dinks with the 3K.
Go.
Yeah, listen, that round, sure. Leone doesn't come up with any kills, but the re-wrapping through garage is huge. It buys all that time. It forces the concentration of long to be broken from Stony Brook, right? They have to now take care of Leone, and while they're taking care of Leone, it gives Dinks and Excite the opportunity to just full swing out in long and mop up the rest of that retake. Excellently done from West Virginia, especially considering how solid the initial hold was from Stony Brook.
Here.
Did feel quite good for them, but initials don't matter. It's the end.
It's the full name.
Yep. Need that last name as well, and if that last name ain't good, it doesn't feel great either. A77 this time. Snapping up one. SMG in hand instead of a pistol duel feels way better in that second. And already for West Virginia, you're on double digits. You're not overly worried about how these openings play. But Gani trying to rip one away even further. But Dinks still being able to refrag brings it to a 4v3. Now West Virginia have a lot of space to play with.
Not only do they have a lot of space, they have a lot of time to work with still, too. 50 seconds. They can just hightail it over to this C site. Stony Brook is so concerned about not having weaponry. They're going to go over to this A site, try and pick up some residual weapons at the very least. Which, sure, they'll be able to do that, but West Virginia, a very comfortable C site take into a post plant that they get to work however they see fit. You're going to see players in garage. You're probably going to see someone back towards long. So much to work with.
Majestic needs to pull something. Of course, with only a pistol, it's a little bit more difficult. Scan goes out, reads no one perfectly around that corner. Looks like Stony Brook are just going to take their chances with the exits and look to try and play up for the next.
I mean, Excite's going to go hunting with the Spectre. Not a bad play. See what you can find, but the answer is a double swing out of Majestic. And that Viper, Thomas. So they get two, they go down to the spike. West Virginia still find their way to 11. And, I mean, this has just been cohesive. It is really the only way I can explain it. I mean, obviously dominant, another word to use as well, but this is what we wanted to see from West Virginia. We wanted to see not only a good fit, good level of calling, but also good form, and it's not just out of Dinks, even though, don't get me wrong, Dinks is having a monster game. It's from the rest of the team as well. We've seen each of them be able to hit shots when it matters.
I really do feel it is one of those moments where the cohesion not only is coupled with, you know, being on form, but also just individual prowess. That's what you like to see. Coupled on top of really good callouts, it's just players hitting their shots like they want to, and it creates this sense of ease for the rest of the team. I will always say when you have a frag out start, things become much easier. You almost fall into this pattern of we can do anything as long as we put our minds to it. You feel more comfortable even in your own game plan. For Stony Brook though, you're looking to disrupt that flow as much as possible with what looks to be a CNA side pinch, pushing on deep and looking to find that shot. Thomas is able to find A77, which now gives information to West Virginia you can't go see.
Yeah, that's a huge pick for Stony Brook to be able to find. Not only does it cut out that constant cycling of the A site pressure from the Viper utility, but just plain and simple gives you numbers. And on a defense where you're going to be spread pretty thin thanks to the 3 sites, that is a huge numbers advantage to pick up.
30 seconds left.
And with 30 seconds left, West Virginia, they've run down their own clock. So Thomas, they're stuck in this corner. But still, you have Tonka on the site.
That's ridiculous work right there. This is going to get pinched in further. Guardian bringing one, Phantom does the other, and Dinks now right in the front side. Drifts on into Gunny's right. That feels bad. It's all down to Abel, who is able to find one lurk kill. But you got to contend in the 1v2. Now you are able to possibly swing both of the attackers on that connector side towards the barrage. Line him up. Came very close, but Dinks with the 4K puts West Virginia on that point.
Match point.
It's West Virginia through and through, looking like an unstoppable force. Dinks being at the helm of this freight train, 24-4 in 15 rounds. Has the overdrive available. Excite going to be able to use the Hunter's Fury as well. I mean, Stony Brook between a rock and a hard place right now. 9 in a row required just to take it to overtime. I mean, you were the one saying overtime a possibility, but Gucci, I think, wants to put that idea to bed.
You're going to find it in more ways than one. Gunny found a way to deal with Dinks, but Gucci follows up in front. Don't even try and gun duel Dinks. Just take him out with Util. Out of the smoke comes Tonka like a truck, but Excite still holds down West Virginia in one of the more dominating games we've seen them play. Have locked down map number 1 in stylish fashion. 13-3.
Yeah, 13-3 is how map number 1 ends. I think when we were coming into today, that was probably, I can't even say it was on the list of possibilities that we were expecting.
We were looking for at least 6. We wanted a medium type of game at the very least, and we were looking for a close combat. And I have to give credit. I don't think Stony Brook made individual choices that had them fall apart. They were quite literally, after like round 4, hunting for Dinks, trying to take out Dinks, trying to get Leone. They were looking. We saw them gather up, but every time it was a 2v1, either Dinks or Leone decided to pop up and just say, hey, I'm gonna frag out of my mind. Gucci starting to step up in the mid game as well, made that even more of an impossibility. I mean, Angel, if you are the Stony Brook squad, what is running through your mind?
I mean, genuinely, that was a game where it wasn't even at the fault of like an individual player not stepping up, or maybe the calls weren't there. It was just straight up timing. The amount of times that we're looking at this game and we're seeing Stony Brook clearing things as they're supposed to on that attack side, and then all of a sudden they're shifting their crosshair to go clear something else, and that's when West Virginia peaks, is insane. That was such a great series of timings from West Virginia, on top of Dinks just hitting flicks on flicks on flicks with that op. So for West Virginia, I mean, you're going to take that 13-3 and you're going to soar with confidence into bind.
100%. You are trying to break that 0-2 streak of series in your last 2 series so far. You want to turn the tables, bring yourself to a positive record here into week number 5. We'll see if it happens, though. We're going to go to a short break. When we come back, Division 1 Valorant will continue.
Stony Brook University is a place for daring. Daring to see where you can go when you follow your heart. even when it leads outside your comfort zone. Daring to ask bigger questions. Who will I be? Where will I thrive? What is my legacy? At Stony Brook University, we dare to find answers to these questions every day. In the classroom, in the field, on the water. Even in the spark of a spontaneous moment. Daring to define your own path is not always easy, but it is always worth it. At Stony Brook, New York's flagship university, we are united by one simple truth: to be something more in this world. Start with daring to be true to yourself. Stony Brook University. Dare to be.
Hi, we're WVU. You probably know us for screaming. And yeah, we're pretty good at it. But here, it's more than a chant. It's our celebration of innovation.
Let's go.
Our rallying cry for community.
Let's go!
And honestly, it's just our way of life. So whether you're chasing big dreams or just chasing sunsets,
Let's go!
I don't know what happened, but cool, we're here now. It feels like we caught up on time as well. We were kind of expecting this, but I mean, West Virginia, I don't know what more to say than you're on point, you're ready to go, and I'm excited to see if they can keep this momentum rolling into map number 2.
Yeah, this is a very strange map 1 considering the names coming into today, right? West Virginia and Stony Brook looking almost equal, all right? I mean, even having the exact same record, the only difference was the kind of, I guess, rate at which they were winning over the last couple of weeks, right? Stony Brook a 2-0 streak and West Virginia an 0-2 streak. And then all of a sudden, we're on Stony Brook's map pick of Haven, and it's a 13-3 win for West Virginia. So that means there's either two things that are about to happen. We're either about to see West Virginia 2-0 and completely take Stony Brook to task, or Stony Brook's going to respond here in a pretty stunning fashion, and then we go to map 3, and then it's going to be like a 3-hour corrode 24-26.
No, don't.
Just people can't seem to close out in overtime type of game.
I would absolutely cry if that was it. We're already heading into bind, though. We got to see some of the agents that are exciting us as West Virginia bringing out the Tejo and Waylay, going with some new-gen action with some old-gen style. The Sky, Brimstone, and Viper to flank that craziness. On the flip, Stony Brook keeping it mellow. Sky, Raze, Chamber, Brimstone, and Viper, all fairly standard here on bind.
Yeah, I'm not going to lie. I really love the Stony Brook comp. I mean, you're going to get this from me almost every time we see him. I'm a big Chamber fan. I think Chamber is in a really good spot in the meta right now. And I think Majestic has done a pretty good job at just being a solid, consistent player, especially in the aim department. So to see him on this Chamber here, I think is going to be huge, especially considering Stony Brook is starting this half. On defense, sure, West Virginia, 3 players over towards long. Stony Brook well equipped to take this attack.
Like this, Dinks played so well back in map number 1. This time around, giving a lot more forward and momentum and advancement with that Waylay. Double though is the whole big question. Double blind though, as poor Gunny gets flashed by Abel. Abel's able to find first blood, but Gooch answered back in kind. Gooch now backing away inside of sight somehow from Hookah's side. And Gunny immediately denies you any further entrance. Gunny! Gunny taps out! Gives Leone a piece of their own medicine. And A77 didn't see the gun's barrel sticking out. So it's Stony Brook this time to open with a banger.
Yeah, that is beautiful play from Gunny right there. 3 shots from that Sheriff, 3 kills given over, and completely shuts down West Virginia in that pistol. Looking so strong. And now it's going to be Stony Brook on this buy-up, and this is where the strength of that Chamber really starts. You get Chamber with an Outlaw over towards B long. It frees up Gunny and Big Tonka T over towards this A site.
Launching smoke.
Considering Gunny has this Phantom.
Molly.
I love that slow.
Don't make too much.
Yeah, that sucks. Dash on in, Shorty. Tonka was more than ready to hit that flyby and recovers control over a Lantern. Peeks out, sees one, another smoke laid down. And this time it's just going to make it so difficult for West Virginia. 4 smokes piled on top of each other makes it a very close quarters angle. Gunny trying to spray through. Hit something. Big Tonka wins out in the end. Abel follows up behind with a shot. A77 makes it a bit more difficult. Thomas going for the defusal, but the smoke once again forces them away. 1 tap on the defusal, 2nd tap might draw some eyes. A77, first one to walk on out. A77, what a shot! Majestic falls off that throne. Gunny refrags back. And in a 1v2 situation, Excite gonna try and pull some magic. Gunny though, ready with the overview.
Standing.
Shot 1, Excite wins it. And they're gonna look, but you gotta peek. No, you don't, Thomas. Halfway mark. You're gonna go back, and you force, there it is! Taps though, and Thomas is able to win it out at the very end. 2.9 left, no sweat at all.
Yeah, there was so much time for Stony Brook to work with there on the retake. West Virginia, despite getting that plant, just couldn't really ever maintain enough control to slow down Stony Brook. So the Seawolves do hold on, and they're able to keep that Phantom into Gunny's hands here in round number 3. Big Tonka T also going to be able to invest pretty carefully into this, getting a Phantom of his own in this round. West Virginia, though, they do get the full weaponry, full kits and caboodles across all 5. As once again, it's back to testing to be long.
Be right back.
Time around, not as much util put into that corner pocket. Great Tejo chase some of those drone actions. A77 checks out that mid lurk. It will be a win for them with one more defender on A. Instead, it's a 3v3 position. Over on B long. Eyes out though for a possible teleport play. You have 3 sitting in the pocket. Leone makes it a 3v2. And for West Virginia, this opens up a huge slew of options.
And immediately the call. Teleport over towards this A site. Gunny gets droned out. Huge information given over to West Virginia. They have 50 seconds to work with. All 5 alive. Gunny, at most you were getting 2. Can only grab 1. So 2v4. Thomas and Abel, both still alive. Potentially Flash still available.
Last player standing.
Good try. Good try at the end. Abel tried to make it work. At the end of the day, though, West Virginia looking much more comfortable with guns in their hand. Because remember, when they fought out on map number 1, it was controlled. They only gave up 1 kill in each of the opening rounds. West Virginia almost right back to that 3rd round here. Keep 4 alive with a 3K off Leone.
Yeah, this has very big implications for the rest of the half. Assuming that we're about to see a repeat round from West Virginia. Sure, Stony Brook able to grab a clean pistol, but now that there's rifles in the hands of these players, you need to see what an even footing round looks like. Will Stony Brook still be able to maintain? Gunny and Tonka both on this A site.
We knew it was gonna happen eventually, right, Angel? Like, we knew this was gonna happen at some point. Dink dashes on him, gets completely behind Tonka. Poor 180 wasn't fast enough, and that's 2 for West Virginia as they get the plant on A.
Yeah. 5v3. No flank pressure from Stony Brook, but still needs to be something that West Virginia are concerned about until you can have just a complete wrap.
One
all
enemy
the way
remaining.
through defender spawn. Is that even needed? The answer is no. A77's really just getting a courtesy kill. There,
You know, opening 2 looked okay for Stony Brook. Heck, it looked amazing in terms of the pacing, of the action, of how they were able to react. But West Virginia, now with rifles, say, we're right back to the same style, and you still haven't found an answer to our combination of Leone and Dink starting to hit shots, A77 and Excite, able to kind of supplement in the middle. For Stony Brook, you know this is going to be an uphill battle. It's how do you answer that call?
Yeah, that is really where the concern lies right now for Stony Brook.
Back in a flash.
You don't have weaponry in this round, so unless you can hope for Gunny 3 kills out with a Sheriff, yeah, forget it. Already done.
Spike down B.
Just not happening.
No.
Thomas's position revealed in hookah.
There's just one of those days where you know someone's on one and you can't really help it. Thomas able to find
Spike
Gucci's
down
life
B.
over in hookah's side, but you're down to 17. Alert towards mid as well, puts the Vipers versus each other. For A77 with a large HP barrel, you swing and you catch with 5 HP left though, very close by Thomas. 3v2, spike down, Tonka with a Sheriff. Can you dome out? Dinks, unfortunately not. Very nice retreat.
One enemy
Puts him
remaining.
in a safe spot. Excite finds Majestic. You now know where the last defender is. A77 shuts that down. West Virginia, 3 rounds straight.
Yeah, this is starting to feel like the West Virginia we saw on Haven.
Yep.
Dinks just feels unkillable. Leone's having an absolute great opening to this first 5 rounds. A77 gets as much space as he wants on any side of the map at any given moment.
Bop, bop. Oh, they didn't finish the shots. I'm sorry. Taking a look here.
Shame on you.
I like music, okay? I like music, and that's always fun to do because I suck at Valorant personally, and I just rather play a beat while everyone else gets frags. Taking a look
You know
here,
what I like?
slower pace by West Virginia. They're gonna take a
like
little
when
bit of time
Dinks-
for themselves, but Hookah by 3.
Yeah, I love when Dinks just goes into the site, gets one, and then recalls straight out of there.
Doesn't care.
Right?
Just doesn't care.
I don't care about music beats. I care about beating my opponents. And
True.
that's the ult.
Dinks right behind again, but Thomas was ready. Draws the
One
showstopper.
enemy
Thomas
remaining.
lays him
Away!
out.
B.
Little bit over aggressive for West Virginia, and Stony Brook are gifted for one left alive, and I don't think that one attacker is going to be doing anything anytime soon.
A77 1v5 question mark? Perchance? High-low in cubby? On an off angle? Surely we are... Just write it down.
One can hope, but
That's a certified Thomas round right there.
Yeah.
Why not just get 3 on the site hold alongside Gunny using a... I guess technically... Was that a Rosa? Did that get any kills?
I don't think so. I think
Yeah.
it's just denied vision, really.
No showstopper kills.
No.
Yeah.
That was a that kill came before the showstopper. I was actually gonna say the showstopper was wasted, and then everything
It
happened.
kind of just
so.
it just distracted Dinks for long enough for Thomas to flick over and kill him. Is really what it was.
That's true. Well, for West Virginia, your 3-round streak is all it is. And now you're really taking that slow pace, giving Stony Brook time to kind of recollect themselves. They don't want to try and force once more. That's actually how they got caught out last time. Checking mid by 4, 1 showers. Is that actually the chase they're going to go? Yes, they are. Dinks once again opening up, but spotted this time around. Recalls back, allows Leone to enter on in. Plant tap, not fully Gucci. He's able to punch through, gets the heal from the rest. That will leave a chance here inside showers. A77 locks down 2 bodies. Gunning Tonka. We're not ready.
Not at all. It's
Last
877,
player
a
standing.
huge double opener. It
Spike
allows
planted.
Dinks to finally work his way
No
through
more
lamps.
bypass.
Now able 1v5, not gonna happen. West Virginia, sure, last round, call it
If you
a bit
say
of a
one
fluke,
of my
but
creatures, it's a good thing, alright?
they're back
We'll
to
figure out
being
what
on
they do.
top after round 7.
Honestly, Angel, I want to be able to dissect this. Because you mentioned it before, watching West Virginia as a squad, we want to see their individual prowess showcase and really become an all-encompassed team. We knew that they had the macro down, but the macro is almost pushed to the side this time around. It feels like they're just fagging out their mind, and there's not much to dissect. I want to be able to dive further in because I want to see more West Virginia. I want to know that they know what they're doing and what's giving them such a lead. For Stony Brook, they're trying to answer back, and it's held off on the long. Hookah, not really pushed just yet, and it's left West Virginia in a lower person value. Of course, at the current moment, though, I'm sitting there going, West Virginia, even though they're down 1, they could still make this work in a 3v4.
Yeah, I was gonna say, if you want to really test the macro, now's the chance to do it. West Virginia in a 3v4. Have to try and find a position, and you can see over towards A. I mean, tough spot for Leone. Gets caught out by Majestic. Gucci, though, will be able to take care of Thomas in the meantime. So 2-on-2 over here on the B site. Gucci just has to get out of hookah.
Global strike, no, excited Gucci. Illegal maneuvers between the two. Clear sight, get the plant, and turn the script around.
Yeah, it was a huge orbital strike by Gucci. It forces out so many different players, and now Majestic, a 1v2, operator in hand, Tour de Force has the backup. You don't really want to pop that here in this round.
Teleport's ready.
Look shot 1.
It's gonna be the save.
Yeah, it sucks. Like, we were watching. I wanted to see Majestic pop off, but Angel Angel, what? Try and break it down. I can't, but you should have some knowledge with West Virginia, right?
Yeah, so, I mean, that was really around where, you know, we talk about the timings betraying Stony Brook, and that was a perfect example. Very, very well measured by Gucci there on the jump out from hookah. Make sure that you're covered by the smoke. Played around the smokes on the site perfectly, and when you use that orbital strike, it forced out Abel and I believe it was Tonka T in the back of the B site. Forced them both out into the open, and that was enough for Excite and Gucci to capitalize. And then in that 1v2, Majestic just can't get it done with the off. So tour de force now to control showers. Tonka T going in fast.
Tonka T went a little bit too fast, got caught by the A77 hop. Denied any further highway access. Majestic gonna try their best. What a collat! Leone and A77 punched off the freeway. Move over, because Majestic's got the tour de force bike riding. West Virginia, though, they're playing inside the smoke once again, shielding their field of view. But now, three-way entry, Majestic 3K in 2 shots. Are they going to be able to close this one out? I don't think there's going to be magic this time. Thinks so live. Excite running one, but Abel finishes it off. Stony Brook gather a round back.
That is why you see Majestic on Chamber right there. Blinded up doesn't matter. Takes the shot with the tour de force, gets the collat, rendezvous back, and is able to pick up a third as well. Thanks to the saved off in the last round, Gunny was able to help out on that retake as well. That is a huge round to completely halt the momentum of West Virginia, who felt like they were about to start running away with this game.
I like that Stony Brook are fighting back, but it falls back in that same position of they're making hero plays. These are individual talents popping off at the right time. We need to see that concise shutdown. Majestic might not be able to pull it off twice in a row. The operator just doesn't feel as comfortable this time around. You bait out that shot, Majestic falls back, no further push on this showers. Instead, it will be West Virginia looking maybe towards that mid to hookah range to play in.
I mean, this is the thing though, right? West Virginia, they did burn a fair bit of utility, and you can see that Majestic wants to go re-exploring and does have a bit more space towards showers to work with. And it's this B-site focus out of West Virginia right now. A77 and Leone trying to explore over towards long, see what they can find. Maybe potentially just some orb control, try and draw some players away, because there are 3 players for Stony Brook over on this B-site. So if they can keep them there for just long enough, it means that this A site is weak and could be prime for the taking.
Probably the longest round West Virginia tried to play. 30 seconds left on the clock. The rotate here. Majestic baited out. Smooth play by West Virginia. But slowed down by that Molly. Disastrous effect with the 2 entry. But at least the 3 main are good. Spike is going to go down inside that Viper spit. Orbital strike slows him down. Excite able to take him out of time. Tonka with the beam, though, lands directly on Leone's head. 4v3, but a lot of smoke in their way. Excite looking for that flank. And again, a lot more space taken by West Virginia's side. Stony Brook corralled into 3 by Lantern. I don't know if they really like that one. Gunning with the hard spray, not finding much damage. Abel lost one outside, but Ding, A77, and Gucci all with the power of friendship clear the 6th round for West Virginia.
Yeah, that, again, West Virginia just playing the macro perfect there. By enough time on the A site hold, make Stony Brook think they're rotating. You commit just enough utility from Leone to sell the B site fake. You go on to A. Only 2 players sitting on the site, and once you lock Majestic out of using that rendezvous to get back, I mean that's a free round for West Virginia. Next up on the list is just go and hit this B site with everything you got.
Maybe not just B, but mid. Destroy those lurkers. It is again a save. Stony Brook working with very little in their inventory. Gunny's made magic happen before, but that magic is pretty much wasted now. West Virginia have figured out right precise formula.
One
Take
enemy
victory
remaining.
here. Yet another tap. Gucci on 3. Gucci on 4. It is play on play on play. West
Last
Virginia
round in the half.
looking at this last round to push maybe an 8.
Yeah, and small note, but still worth mentioning, really good ult point cycles by West Virginia there. Hand Gucci the spike, and because Gucci was able to get those 2 kills before he planted the spike, he now has the orbital strike again to work with here. And that's going to be huge. I think this is the 3rd in one half for West Virginia, considering how good we've seen it be for this team before.
Jesus. So much fire, nothing really connected. Maguchi with the orbital strike back. And there have been more orbital strike kills than I've seen in this game alone than I've seen in a majority share of these seasons. That is crazy to watch. Back to back. Dink's ready to go as well. Converging the pathways forward. Seekers are out, but it ain't gonna slow too much. A77 picking up the slack as West Virginia hold for alive. Stony Brook's defenders running in from hookah, from CT, and both entryways are marked. I don't like what's about to happen, but for Stony Brook, you gotta at least give it a chance. Smokes dissipate on 1. Tonka not spotted just yet, so Stomper being used. Fires got 2! That might be the chance! Scotty making magic happen once more!
Lineup missed.
That sucks. That's gonna be it. That's a chance around the corner though. Gucci, I might have lied. No way did I deny Gucci a chance to clutch up as well. Another tap you can play with the timer. Another hold as the boost comes in. The stim is there and you swing around.
No way.
No, you play the timer and you play the player. That's gonna be a Gucci clutches to bring it to an 8-4 half.
What cojones from Gucci, man? Just full swing, no shooting, no nothing, just straight across the screen. Enough to buy time to get West Virginia that 8th round, but we talked about the orbital strike and the value it could have. Once again, Dinks goes in, slows down Thomas. That's a free kill for Gucci's orbital strike. It gets the job done. It opens up the site for West Virginia. Now an 8-4 lead. I mean, sure, it's 25% better for Stony Brook than the first map, but it's not like that first map was anything to write home about for Stony Brook.
Gonna fall back here.
This pistol though, I mean, Dinks, I don't know. Dinks is out to prove something. I really do feel Dinks saw one wrong meme on the socials about them and was just like, okay, no more Mr. Nice Guy. Able to be taken out, but leaves plenty of space for Excite with a ricochet frag. I haven't seen that in a while either. West Virginia are pulling out all the ways to take out a team in a single map. Stony Brook, last one alive, grabs Gucci on the back end, but in a 1v3 and 34 HP, I don't think there's much play for. Excite with 4K. West Virginia opened that pistol.
So when we were in the production meeting for talking about this series, this was last week.
Yep.
We were talking to our good caster friend Infernosis, and he said about this series, and I quote, "West Virginia are on fraud watch." Okay. We're airing this out now.
We're
because
just
West
putting
Virginia
Infernosis on full blast, by the way.
Oh yeah.
Oh my
yeah,
gosh.
absolutely. That's because and to be fair, they were having a rough first half of this season, but to see the turnaround like this in week 5 is absolutely insane. Dinks heard that Dinks heard us say that Infiltrator was the best duelist in Division 1 and took that personally. That's really what it was.
Leone on the supplement as well. Stony Brook for the first time feel like they actually have an entry into sight for a live 1 through TP, but that showers is so dangerous. Gucci fires when unable. Dinks again, dude. Why are you trying to check Dinks? Dinks will take that 1v1 all day long. And another rotate through the TP, but A77 is ready with the Bucky. Here's the footsteps. It is a rotate to fake rotate, but you're walking straight into the arms of Gucci. Dinks with the 3K. One more to go. Gucci shuts it down. West Virginia, double digits.
And a flawless round from West Virginia. They're proving their worth right now. Gucci having an absolute stunner of a game. Dinks as well, still being a human highlight reel. I mean, we talk about fit. We talk about form. West Virginia, we knew they had the fit. If this is the form that they can maintain for the rest of the season into playoffs, I think the dark horse status might be back.
They are bearing their hooves in anger, ready to stomp out the competition. Majestic knows that it's out. It is dangerous here. It feels like they got steel toe boots on. But you dodge that boot, immediately smack A77 out of that position. Back away, get ready for the second, but full body shots from Leone holds you down. Ain't no way West Virginia are gonna take those guns and run with it. Sight is overrun on B though, while we're watching Hookah's side. Good blind to go out, stops one, sees the body. Not much of a finish though, as Abel clears their sky mirror. 3v4, spotted, Gucci, not blinded, but still waiting for the rest of the team. Stim is ready to go. Dinks preps themselves as well. Jumps in, jumps forward, and quickly recalls back. Doesn't want anything to do with that fast entry alone. Gucci, though, took that time to find Tonka. Gunny refrags out. At this point, time is winding down long enough, but Excite and Dinks gather one apiece, and Excite's still alive. Dinks swapped out the gun to the Bulldog and takes that secondary. GG's to the round. West Virginia take 3 in a row.
Just unstoppable in the 2v1. You think Abel might be able to do it. But Dinks off the trade, able to get it done. 11-4 lead West Virginia, and they show no signs of slowing down. Stony Brook, it's going to be rough scenes for the money. You can see that Abel, only player who's going to be able to force a rifle here, and even then decides against it last minute. Ultimates-wise, West Virginia about ready to get onto their second cycle. You can see the convergent paths already in the hands of Dinks over towards B. This A site, though, still in good hands between Excite and Gucci.
And you can feel the hesitation coming in from Stony Brook. Playing a long default here. Just trying to prep their time. Are they going to find anyone, though, is the question. Will they find the opening frag?
I mean, the good thing is for West Virginia, no one's really pushing too far. You're not giving anything out for free. You're going to have to force some utility. And that's a good spot from Excite.
Grenade!
Nate slows him down. 3 mid. Now comes the push. 3-2. West Virginia still waiting. Smokes go down once more, and it feels like West Virginia are calling down the 1v1, seeing who's ready to outfrag each other, play that mid to close range. They're going to do it. Lantern held by 2. Tonka swings that corner. Excite gets the refrag, but it's still a 4v4. Excite alone in a 1v2 now around that bend. Is able to win. Abel works their magic, but Leone,
30
again,
seconds left.
team play. With 1 towards the shower TP will now complete that fence. Remember, no plan has gone down yet. Dinks sits in front of getting live. Majestic holds
No
down
way.
the Headhunter though. 29 HP. Can you do it? Looking low, looking high. Shots show high. Repositions, but you got to get that plant. And A77 is going to run it. Oh,
seconds
what a
left.
call. Again, play that timer. And Majestic, do or die time. A77 should hear it. Last second play, and you get it. Are you going to spot?
the
Corner is it. There it is, Majestic. 3K to clutch up.
Sorry.
Yeah. What a clutch by Majestic. Brings Stony Brook much needed respite after the onslaught of 6 rounds in a row by West Virginia. It gives them a chance, and it gives them good money to do it, right? Well, West Virginia has to have a couple of compromises here, and you can see that mostly upgraded pistols for the Mountaineers. The Seawolves, they've got the full the full set of rifles plus some extra in the bank
Gonna fall back here.
should the worst case scenario happen.
Okay, Dinks, that was
I mean,
unnecessary by like a mile. A77 rips one in mid. Mid
Make it
to B
almost
Fountain
two.
is huge. Thomas refrags back. And this is going to be Stony Brook pressing the envelope once more, saying, guys, we played it slow last time. Fast is where we're at. Spike taking a little bit longer to get into sight, but that allows us 1v1. Dinks isn't able to pull the gun out fast enough. Gunning with a really great read on that one. With the plan down, now puts West Virginia into a very tough spot. They're at 11. Stony Brook want that one
Spike
back.
planted.
the problem is for Stony Brook, though, when you consider the fact that the damage done to Majestic and Thomas, it's not going to make this an easy round by any means. You still have to deal with any errant bullet taking out two of your players. At the very least, the kill on Gucci and the damage onto Leone should be enough to close things out for sure. I think Excite at this point is just going to call the save.
I like it. Excite getting satcheled onto Gunny, watching the runaway. And it's a round that Stony Brook have clawed their way back, and I give credit Gunny playing a heroic march so far. This has been tough for Stony Brook to swallow, but I mean, if they can keep this up, if they can keep this action up, catch West Virginia off guard, there's a chance that they match pace and are able to bring it all the way to an 11-11.
Okay, well, in order to do that, I think they need this round first.
Yep.
And the problem with this round is now Dinks has an op. And you might be wondering, oh, well, why is that important? Well, that's because West Virginia was still able to take the first 3 rounds
Back at it.
of this half without a Dinks op. And they were able to do those pretty handily. So now that you have this ultra mega death beam posted up over by Showers, you know, I feel like that's honestly, for lack of a better word, as to what you would call Dinks on an operator. Ultra mega death beam.
For Majestic, they are truly a death beam in more ways than one. As soon as that 2-4 came out, you knew and feel that want for another flag. It's not going to happen, though. Gunny rushes into the shower. Dinks was ready, though, and Gucci with another orbital strike kill. I really don't understand how you can hit it that easily. Stony Brook losing out to the massive ult investment. Up comes a little bit of annihilation. Danger is abound as West Virginia are heavily investing into this round to push them to series point. A77 dances inside a lantern. Hard spray around the corner. Majestic is gone. It's going to be one alive, and Dinks says no, thanks. West Virginia flush out Stony Brook and put themselves one away.
12-6. West Virginia,
Match
after
point.
a dominant
All right.
Haven,
Last hurdle. This
they're
is
trying to
one.
make the case for Bind 2. Punished the economy of Stony Brook oh so much up until these last couple of rounds, where for the first time in this series, Stony Brook has been able to find some form of financial stability. It hasn't been too little too late. 6 in a row needed from the Seawolves to bring us to overtime here on map 2, let alone map 3.
And it all starts here, though. Another orbital strike coming on down. Brutality is what we want to watch for. Excite, watching the fun. There's a showstopper, though. Gunny getting some fun and swings 180, drops Gucci. Stony Brook. What an opener right there. Okay, Majestic, I hear you. I get it, but that was...
Majestic
there are
was
levels
upset
to this.
he was upset we didn't call his operator the Ultra Mega Death Beam. That's what it was.
Oh,
So-
there you go.
But you know what? For Stony Brook, it's a sigh of relief. You committed 2 ultimates, the Orbital Strike and the Showstopper, into this round as a Hail Mary attempt to get yourself to 7, and you do just that. You force the save out from Dinks and Leone. And it's just another opportunity. A sigh of relief. The operator in the hands of Majestic has already found some value. You want it to find more, though, over the next 5 rounds.
And And those 5 are going to be very difficult because we know what West Virginia can do with a heavy-handed purchase once those
If you are
ults
not
rotate.
doing
We were
well,
talking about it
keep trying.
earlier.
You must
West
keep up
Virginia, I mean,
appearances.
they've been so gung-ho about everything. But remember, their ult rotations have been huge, and the investments they're willing to throw down each time, they're about to come up. Take a look at that. 2 away for A77. Leone, 1 away. Dinks, 2 away. I mean, these can be up by next. So for Stony Brook, you know it's coming. You know you got to play a little bit harder, and you're going to try and do so once more. A side being that lurk in position. A mid-default play. Trying to flush out at least one defender on site.
I mean, if short's the focus, you've got it. 2 players for West Virginia over towards Showers. The rest of A completely ripe for the taking. Well, Gucci and Excite, they have the space for now. The problem is Majestic here, posted up. Operator at the ready.
Welcome to my world.
Thomas with a really nice opener frag, and with the hyperspace being laid, Gucci from Showers is exposed. Majestic on the back end, though, really good positioning. Like Thomas gets so much space, and Thomas punches Leone out. Stony Brook with a clean and clinical round for themselves, one that we've been sorely missing throughout the series.
Yeah. Very clean, very controlled, very consistent. It's enough to bring Stony Brook round 8. And Dinks, it's another save, another round where he's removed from the play. Can't really make an impact. And it hurts for West Virginia because you know just how powerful he can be when he's involved. But if the read is wrong or Dinks isn't set up to find that value, and you kind of end up in rounds like this where Stony Brook, it's a clean, fast take, get the plant, forces the save. And a much-needed timeout now for West Virginia.
I mean, we say that they're still up 4. So I don't know if it's much needed, but it's one taken in a more confident stance, recognizing that the flow and the pace has changed. So in that respect, I would agree with you. But what are they deciding here? We mentioned the ult timers. 3 should be coming up shortly. Is that what they're going to kind of hinge their entire plans on? Or is there another angle that they could play for?
There's kind of 2 things. There's 2 parts to this timeout. The first is the momentum, right? We talk about Stony Brook winning the last 3 rounds in a row. It completely stunts your momentum as a team, and so you need this timeout to regroup mentally, find a new focus in this round. We talk about the Dinks operator that's been saved across 2 times. It's now the only weapon that West Virginia have available to them here in round number 21. So you really need to find a way for Dinks to be involved somewhere in the map, whether that's going to be him actually with this operator taking an advanced position, maybe in Showers to find the space, or if it's going to be Dinks passing the operator off to Gucci or to Excite and then dashing in with the shorty to try and make a play. I think it's probably going to be the former, right? Try and get Dinks into that deep position, hold on to that line and mark it, and then stack some other players towards B.
This time around, looks like that might be a chance to have to go on here. Trailblazers able to find a Gucci though. What a hold with the 2-piece. Surprise, surprise from the TP angle. Stony Brook not sure. They do it yet again. Gucci just pops out and drops him like a sack of potatoes. And he looked the wrong way. Leone takes advantage. Whatever Dinks was going to do is null and void. Majestic is the last one of their kingdom, and their kingdom has quickly fallen. Stony Brook into our locked away. West Virginia 2-0 to move up 3-2.
West Virginia back in winning standing here in Division 1. Like you mentioned, now 3-2 in the standings. Looking solid, right? We talk about this. The total score across the 2 maps, cumulative, 26-11. I mean, that's pretty good. You're gonna take that, all things considered, even though maybe map 2 a bit closer than you would have hoped for coming into today if you're West Virginia. Still an absolutely phenomenal performance by the Mountaineers.
And for Stony Brook, you're sitting there you're going, okay, there's things to work on, and I really do hope they go back and just kind of understand that this was maybe West Virginia waking up, but there are things that you can glean, I think. I think for Stony Brook, it felt like they did start to become a bit more cohesive a lot faster in these rounds, where they started to identify that things were going wrong. Can we find Dinks? Can we find Leone? It's difficult to manage when you still aren't able to outfrag them, but the ideas were there. Formulaically, though, they are now at 2-3. The rest of the season, maybe not as difficult opponents here. They were on a two series streak before. Do you think Stony Brook are able to bounce back and still secure a good spot heading into playoffs?
I mean, 100%. They're still going to be able to bounce back and secure playoffs at the very least. I think the big thing for Stony Brook is going to be, what does their kind of level of performance look like over those last 2 weeks? I think today we saw a little bit of a downtick from kind of our usual suspects of Stony Brook, right? The usual suspects being the Ables, the Majestics, the Gunnies. They all had moments. I don't know if it was really the same level that we've expected or come to expect from them over these last couple of months, but still, I think Stony Brook has some stuff in store for us over these last couple of weeks, where at the minimum, we're going to see them in the playoffs, and they should be able to provide a pretty entertaining round one, even if they don't make it into the later rounds of playoffs.
All right, well, for Stony Brook, it's back to the drawing board for the next week match, but for the West Virginia side, they got to celebrate a little bit more, as we are going to get an interview with Leone here in just a little bit to get a fresh set of eyes on what the heck happened today and how they're feeling looking at their previous matches as well as the future. Don't go anywhere. Division 1 Valorant will continue in just a bit.
Stony Brook University is a place for daring. Daring to see where you can go when you follow your heart. Even when it leads outside your comfort zone. Daring to ask bigger questions. Who will I be? Where will I thrive? What is my legacy? At Stony Brook University, we dare to find answers to these questions every day. In the classroom, in the field, on the water. Even in the spark of a spontaneous moment. Daring to define your own path is not always easy, but it is always worth it. At Stony Brook, New York's flagship university, we are united by one simple truth: to be something more in this world. Start with daring to be true to yourself. Stony Brook University. Dare to be.
Hi, we're WVU. You probably know us for screaming. And yeah, we're pretty good at it. But here, it's more than a chant. It's our celebration of innovation.
Let's go.
Our rallying cry for community.
Let's go!
And honestly, it's just our way of life. So whether you're chasing big dreams or just chasing sunsets,
Let's go!
I can go anywhere, walk the desert in the sun, lost and I don't care. I'm feeling lighter, lighter, at the finish line. You can't cheat me now.
Welcome back, everyone. We are here with a lovely, lovely interview with Leone, one of the masters from that series. Chaotic opening to map number 1, and then consistent DPS all the way through. Teammate in the back line. Leone, how you feeling after that victory? One that might have looked a little bit different on paper, but you guys came out swinging.
Yeah, feeling good, feeling good. It's definitely a good momentum booster. We have a lot of hard games coming up for Div 1, NACE, VAL, all this stuff, so starting the week off strong is definitely a good thing for us.
Yeah, and let's talk about starting off strong, especially considering, I guess, the nature in which this kind of, I guess, your pickup or your addition into this team was kind of handled, right? We were going through the winter break. Enox just graduated, maybe a week and a half, 2 weeks before the semester starts. You're brought into the team, you're recruited in, you guys start practice basically as the semester starts.
Yeah.
And so now you're about 6 weeks through the semester, maybe thereabouts. Talk to me about what the development has been like and what the turnaround has kind of looked like for you guys over these last couple weeks.
Yeah, so, going into, with me just joining, especially coming in on the IGL role, which I have a very different system than Enox, and that was something that I had to adjust my system a little bit, had my teammates adjust to my system as well. So going into the first few weeks, we've just been trying to find an identity as a team. Like, how do we want to play with this new role, with the new IGL? How are we going to use our strengths that we've been using, and how are we going to try to adapt and change our playstyle a little bit? We lost some footing a few weeks in the middle of the season so far, just because we tried a philosophy, didn't end up working. But we went back to the drawing board, and this was our first game that we had the new philosophy, and it felt a lot better. If you guys noticed, I was playing Killjoy, I was playing certain roles that I haven't been playing before. We kind of swapped around some of our roles, but we're keeping some of our comps the same, some comps different. But no, our philosophy throughout was just been improvement, and this showing from us is exactly what I wanted to start the week. So
yeah, and we talk about what kind of your season in Div 1 looks like for the rest of the coming weeks, right? It's not the easiest road ahead of you, right? I think you still have a couple games that are a bit touch and go in terms of how clean we're expecting them to be. So considering this is the stride you're hitting now, as you've kind of retooled in the middle of the season, you've found your footing again. I mean, what are you expecting for your team and I guess your mentality to close out the Div 1 season and then move into playoffs?
Yeah, so starting the season, it was relatively the same philosophy as we have now. Is on paper, we lack prep. I don't think we lack the individuals, but we lack a lot of prep for these teams like Maryville, Winthrop, St. Clair's. Our goal is just to keep improving, and then by the time playoffs comes, we want to be really scary. A big example of this is we played Winthrop on Bind on a Sunday. Then we played them again on Wednesday that same week. It went from 13-4 to 13-11. And we only had one Bind scrim in between that. So the rate at which we are able to progress with how little practice we've had is really encouraging. And I really think that we can be that sort of dark horse going into the playoff run, and I don't think these teams are they're gonna start giving us a little bit less respect because, oh, last time we played them, like, you know, it didn't feel that bad. Like, there wasn't a lot of pushback, there was not a lot of resistance. But by the time playoffs come and the games really matter, I think we can actually be a big threat to those big three teams.
And then let's kind of narrow our focus here away from the future and focus on the match of today, right? We talk about the performance that Dinks was able to put up in map 1, and then on map 2 it was a kind of combo of you know, Gucci and Dinks. I think we saw ultimately a really good series out of all your guys today. But to talk about Dinks and just the level of consistency that he's started to bring more and more, you know, compared to the fall where he had some hit or miss moments. I mean, what has that been like for you as an IGL?
Yeah, so that ties into like some of the new philosophies that I was trying to bring into the team. I'm a very supportive player when it comes to things like that. So our whole philosophy is trying to just set up Dino, especially when he has the op. Like before, like 3 rounds, like when I'm calling, like I'll ask him, hey, where do you really want to post this round, and we'll work around it. So that's kind of like how I've been IGLing with him recently. Gets him more involved in our macro and allows him to post exactly where he wants to post with that operator, which is, you know, which he's been performing very well with and getting a lot of frags with. And we're giving him a lot more freedom with this new style. It puts a little bit more pressure on him, but today he was able to make the right calls at the right times, and I was happy that we let off on the reins a little bit, and he was still able to perform to the level that we need him to win.
Yeah, he came in like an absolute fireball after watching you 3K to open 2 rounds in a row. I think it was.
Yeah.
You know, Dinks was like, let's go ham. Let's see what happens, and it is a moment I think a lot of us here on the desk and in Div 1 VAL were really hoping to see from you guys. So congratulations on the victory. Now, I do have to posit a question. Ancient Angel brought this up earlier, and we're going to throw our good buddy under the bus here a little bit. Infernosis put you on what he lovingly called Fraud Watch. What do you have to say to that statement of Infernosis moving in after this match and maybe looking into the future a bit?
I mean, if we want to base it off stats, like, sure, but there's a lot of my impact that people don't see, and you're not going to be able to see it unless you're in the call. But I will be able to perform, and I'm going to be here for a while, and we're only going to get better. So no matter what Infernosis says, I don't really think I've spoken to him maybe a little bit, but I mean, call it Fraud Watch, but our team's only going to be improving, and I'm going to be here, and I'm going to be a problem for the next 4 years. So
I think Infernosis also said it with all the love in his heart, because you guys played so well today, and it was a lovely time to watch. Congratulations again, Leone, on your victory here today, and we look forward to even more amazing plays throughout the playoffs. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
With that being said, poor Infernosis, we love him to death, but sometimes we gotta have a little bit of fun. But my God, did West Virginia come out with an absolute banger of a 2-game series, and Leone even talking about it. Some of those items that even we don't see on the desk, it makes sense. You saw the calls, you saw the power that they had, and everything as you wanted, Angel, coming together at just the right moment.
Yeah, no, I mean, this was a West Virginia in great form today across the board. And it's those philosophies on the dot that exactly perfectly line up to what they wanted to do today. They powered through Stony Brook with just like absolute precision. Very, very dominant performance out from West Virginia today, and I'm excited to see where they go in the future. If this is what they looked like after 5 weeks of being a team.
Yeah, I mean, not even just 5 weeks, very close 5 weeks, we gotta say. Leone even pointed it out. Had very little time and very little prep for some of those matches, and yet now they will have all the prep in the world, and a team that's prepared is a terrifying team indeed. That'll be it for our first series of the day. We have another one coming up, though, which will be Maryville going up, I believe, against Boise State University. That's a matchup that we still have yet to see Boise State really be able to show us their stuff, and maybe that's what we can look for there. For Maryville, though, it's another match they're looking towards to kind of cinch their victory over placement number 1 in those grand standings. We'll be back at the top of the hour with our next matchup, so don't go anywhere. The Div 1 VAL side of things will continue just a bit.
I've been through some things. Yeah, I've been sending prayers through the roof. Oh, truth. Yeah. Don't need all the answers, just tell me what life is for. One day I'ma wake up with I've been waiting on your call. Oh, don't need all the answers, just tell me what life is for. One day I'ma wake up with a reaper at the door. Don't need all the answers, just say anything at all. I've been praying for a minute, I've been waiting on your call. Oh, I've been waiting on you, waiting on you. Yeah, I've been waiting on your call. Oh, I've been waiting on your call. Been waiting on your call right now. I wanna hear your voice somehow, voice somehow. Yeah. I've been waiting on your call. Oh.
Hey, let's get connected. 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 Let me be the calm when it get hectic. Let me be the one knowing you left it. Connected. Connected. Let's just hit the plug and get connected. Feel it through your body, don't wanna let you. Let's get connected. Eastside, let's get connected.
If you feel
The way I do,
gonna make you move,
'cause I need you to have me for the night. So the way I do,
gonna make you move.
'cause I need you.
Can't focus, but your body give me clarity. I can tell the way you moving, how you scared me. I'm obsessed with the way you caress me. I undress you with my eyes and you bless me. I confess my love and affection. I'm blinded by all the imperfection. Recognize the dark in you perfection. Can't wait to make you my selection. One side, let's get connected. West side, let's get connected. East side, let's get connected. South side, let's get connected. Worldwide, let's get connected. Local side, let's get connected. Online, let's disconnect it. Offline, let's get connected. Side to side, let's just fall in line. What's the point of living life if it ain't even mine? All the best things I know sit in the void. It makes me wanna scream that I'm something else. I don't care who I'm meant to be, 'cause I'm someone else. This is what
As fast as can be, no chance to wait. We are headed into our second series of the day. It is Maryville versus Boise State, and you know where the stakes are at. Boise State currently sitting out 1-3. We talked about identities in our previous series. Boise State is no different. A squad of members that definitely have the potential, but it just feels they haven't really been able to find their hero of this series. So we'll see what happens here. My name is Orbital still, and of course with me is Ancient Angel. I wonder how this series is going to play out.
Yeah, we talk about this is 5 Davids versus 1 big Goliath in Maryville, right? And the thing for Boise State that we've talked about on a week-to-week basis is just how talented this entire roster is top to bottom. They can each have moments where they drag Boise State out of the mud. You can see the 5 that are going to be playing today. No Daimyo today. Instead, Prestige steps into the roster. You've got Skies, Master Skelsis, Koss, and Prestige. But you know, we talk about this team as a whole. You know, the 5 starters, the subs that step in all the time for Boise State. Like, anyone on this team can win a round, can put a round on the board, even against a Maryville. Anyone on this team can do it. The problem is, it's kind of hard to get 13 clutches in one game to push yourself across to get a map.
Yeah, it's tough. And for Boise State, I think specifically, they are a squad that we're still waiting to see really pop off. Now, yes, they've had some struggles with recent matches. We see them come close, but as you said, they got to clutch up. We also need to see that same factor. They need that cohesion. They need that ability to work as a squad and maybe push one player into that spotlight. And the fact that they're also going up against that mountain, you mentioned it a little bit before, Maryville will be the highest task, I think, that stands in their way. I mean, when we look at Maryville, I mean, we got Renz, Cloric, Ange, as well as Giza and Shondex, monsters rocking their way out here.
And this is the main 5 for Maryville, right?
Yeah.
No more subs stepping into the roster, subbing out because someone has to go finish a project that's due at midnight. None of that, okay? It's the main 5. They're here, they're playing, and they're doing a phenomenal job, right? Remember, they're still undefeated, still haven't lost in Division 1, not just in the spring, but in general. Haven't ever lost a series here. And they just have gotten better between the fall and the spring. They look unstoppable. They look unbeatable. I don't see a world where anyone beats them ever, maybe. I think Boise State has the chance to take a map. The problem is we need to see consistency from these players on a round-to-round basis. And that's the point of this graphic. Who is the hero? Who is going to be the player for Boise State that we look at on any given round and be like, you can make something happen?
Yeah, I mean, this is also your best chance to also pull that 1v1 card. I think Maryville we've seen before, and by the way, I want to add on, in the season alone, they haven't dropped a single game. We're talking about series overall earlier across their entire time in Division 1. In this season alone, they have not dropped a single game. They are 2-0s across the board, 4-0s and everything, and they take it in some of the most dominating fashion. So if there is a hero for Boise State, I do feel this is that moment to almost go like, we understand that any strategy we put forth will be difficult. You need to be that hero and open up the amount of strategies that you can bring forward, or maybe just go for the straight 1v1s. Test your gunmetal, go ham, do whatever you want to, because that might bring victory at the end of the day. We got the 3 maps ahead of us: Haven, Corrode, and Breeze. And with this lineup, I mean, we've already seen what Maryville can do on Haven, and Corrode as a secondary. I mean, that's one that you yourself said would be interesting to watch.
Yeah, Corrode's going to be really interesting, but to talk about Haven, for Boise State, treat Haven as a warm-up. And I don't mean that in the sense of throw it to the wayside, because there is always a chance for Boise State to bring this across. But what I mean is, this is the opportunity to really settle into this series, right? We talked about Haven last game between West Virginia and Stony Brook as a comfort map for a lot of players, and it still acts this way here. You can see the comps across the board. almost mirrors of each other. I think the only difference is that Boise State's running the Clove and the Killjoy, whereas Maryville running the Cypher and the Omen. But otherwise, almost mirrors of each other. And it's Haven. Everyone knows where to put your crosshair. Everyone knows the basic protocols and executes on this map. So just relax. That's going to be your best shot here as Maryville start things out on attack.
Yep, Maryville on the attack, Boise State on the defense. A slow walk in here, Prestige waiting off in the wings. Here's some and lower short. Quick dash in by Renz, no dice whatsoever on spotting them early, but Prestige opens up with first blood. Great hold, but Shondex able to get that refrag. Major space taking here on Maryville's end. They're happy with that plant. 4v3, low HP bars on one apiece. But take a look, long flank by Skelesis. Your results is a whole different story. Skies just kind of being a little bit antsy in there. Knows this is going to be hard. 3 entering in on lower. No one deciding on the heaven side. Pre-fire to the corner. Pop on out. Multiple smokes and blinds. No dice, Boise State. It's going to be a Hail Mary. You got to put your full weight forward. Ange, though, says no. Thank you, Master. Skeleton, though. What a cross. They completely baffle Maryville and take round number 1.
On a retake on the A site. The hardest site on the map to retake, and Boise State get it done. What a huge 4 kills combined between Skelesis and Master to get it done in the blink of an eye. That hold from Maryville completely crumbles apart. It's just upgraded pistols for them now. Bandits and Sheriffs across the board. Boise State on the other end of things. A great opportunity to sweep Maryville off their feet to start the series.
I do love this factor as well. I mean, that is a great way to get some energy into the room for Boise State. I wonder if they can carry that momentum forward. Maryville. We'll walk forward. Renz earlier missed out on that 1v1. Wasn't able to get that first blood. Now looking right to left. Unfortunately, Skelesis is still on one. What a tap 3K! The magic hasn't disappeared. The Sheriff claims 3 more victims. And for Maryville, I mean, you just kind of gave over those ult orbs and kind of maybe a little bit upset about that fact.
Yeah, not ideal by any means, but Giza now 1v5, Sheriff in hand.
There.
Oh, Skies has your position locked down, so they're ready for you. Giza at the very least will be able to take one before falling to the 4K from Skelesis. Now only 1 away from the Hunter's Fury. As Boise State, I mean, this has been a strong double opener. 6 kills in 2 rounds for Skelesis. At the very least, Maryville have weapons here in round 3.
And I think that's where we get a little bit more worried, obviously, when Maryville aren't just playing with pistols, aren't playing with that econ. Instead, it is going to be a little bit more fight in them. Boise State, though, have that chance. They do go ahead and buy up. They saved, I think, 2 or 3 slots for the weaponry. They're going to rock with that Judge. Garage being held as a slow start push from Maryville. Double cage down just to try and maneuver. Skies granted some space. Doesn't really hear any footsteps outside. Shots finally ringing to break that door. Boise State, they don't move.
No, but remain unwavering in their holds here. You see this Garage Judge up and ready. Skies playing off of his teammate. Just jiggling for now. Maryville, though, have yet to commit to any sort of push. Just letting Boise State run down this utility. Prestige will be checked on over at B and has to give up at least the opening angle.
No death, though, means that you have a chance with the teammates. Ren try to dash forward, but Prestige still has their marker. Shondex rips one through. Skelesis opens up with a Hunter series that they have plied for 2 rounds straight. Doesn't really catch anyone, so we're still in a 4v4. Master walking away as Maryville get the plant. They're in a little bit of a pinch position with 3 on site, 1 all the way in T-spawn. That might be the undoing if no one checks behind them. No extra walls to play. Sky's down to 14. Shock not catching anyone. Shondex rips Skelesis, who has been a menace but is now put in check. Boise State, you knew
One
you were at a
enemy
disadvantage
remaining.
with the weaponry, but Maryville makes it a bit more apparent. We are at the standard 2-1 as Maryville claim third. For Boise State, you say that's all normal. It's the fourth that really matters.
Yeah, that was just the bonus round for Boise State, and admittedly, wasn't like it was a bad bonus round by any means, right? You're still able to walk away with a couple kills, give Maryville a little bit of a reinvestment. You can see Ange kind of low on the bank, but this is your opportunity. It's even guns all around. You don't have to rely on a judge just sitting in garage. Instead, Skies can really try and take the fight to Maryville here, as the Saints posted up over towards the seaside of the map.
Sees them double flying bolt in. Shock bolts though land just shy. So Costa's still safe in the back line. Red's actually the ones that took the majority share of the damage. But with 2 HP, you're still able to make magic. Master, refracts are 1, but Ren's now unleashed into this site. Knife out. Floric knows better than that.
Spike planted.
Boise State, rough time of things, as this is the Maryville that we expected, not phased by the magic of earlier. Renz closes it out with a third.
Yeah, and that is 2-2. Maryville, an excellent recovery after losing the pistol. Pretty solid, keeping at least 3 players alive in the last 2 rounds. We have a bit of a tech pause for one moment. Someone I think chewed through their mouse wire out of anxiousness. Might have.
You know what they did? You know what they did? They're like, oh, you know, Skelesis wasn't able to pop off again. You know, trying to hit the button. It's like, dude, it's not working this time. I don't know what happened. Honestly, though, taking stock of what happened, I still feel like this is a great start for Boise. And having those 2 openers, like, it still fills you with confidence that some of your players are currently on point. And we mentioned, for the hero plays, it's not always about winning. It's just having a good game, I think, that is also enough to kind of give a bolster up. I'm not saying they can't win, but I am saying even in a loss, if you have a strong game, that could be huge for the mental boost.
Well, and that's something that we should consider as well, right? Boise State, without the presence of Daimyo, who has been a consistently solid player for the Broncos, not available in this series. So who else are you going to lean on? We talked about Skelesis, we talked about Skies, we talked about Master, all being mainstays of this roster. And so if Skelesis can fill in that void that Daimyo is leaving, so be it. And if he can do it more consistently than Daimyo, because he's able to not only give his own individual performance, but add into Daimyo's, or replace Daimyo's, fine. As he baits for Prestige, and there go the openers. It's now a 3-on-2. 3-on-1. As Shondex just rips through Skies.
We're learning to count here is what happens, and I think it's very fair. Maryville counting down the members till the round win once more. Back in form, not phased at all. And again, it's Maryville feeling very, very comfortable.
They're quite energized now, as they have taken the last 3 in a row, and they're looking for more. And, I mean, money-wise, Maryville, no sweat at all. Almost 5 ults, Ange, the only one lagging behind in the ult count, but it's fine. He's Viper. It's going to be a bit of a slower game anyways. But for Boise State, it's now your second chance with full rifles. You want to try and get Skies into a good position. Fear is, though, is Giza going to be able to capitalize?
I'm out of here.
Boise State
I'm out of
in a weird spot as they spread out, but with the guns back in hand, Master able to find that first. Ange goes down, so Maryville working in a little bit lower output. 45 does not exactly instill confidence, but it does give you a reason to go mid. Corral the opponent, make sure space is yours. But with that clove smoke going up, you don't want to force it.
No, and Master immediately filling this space is huge. It gives Koss a little bit more freedom to go over towards this C site, try and help out Prestige, because there's 4 Maryville players ready and aimed onto this site. That's going to be the cue for Renz to go out. Prestige has to do his best to hold and buy time for rotates.
Wasn't able to do anything of the sort for Caught on that flank. Prestige answers back, but Caught pulling the gun out is what happens. Down to a 2v3. Boise State, though, still waiting for that plan to go down. They are the ones in control of the time.
30
Ford
seconds left.
correct out and is able to find it.
Player
Knows one's around the
standing.
left, but doesn't spot him
Spike
fast
down,
enough.
C.
1v2 for
Giza
Last
now
player
needs to
standing.
flush out. She was able to block one, but Master on that revive. Just gonna wait for that moment. And Master takes advantage of it. Really well done by Boise State as they tie things up 3-3.
Yeah, huge opening pick by Master. The opener and the closer in that round. And if it can be the Master-Skelesis duo to get it done, you're absolutely going to take that. Prestige had a solid moment holding on the site as well. You've got to give credit where credit is due. Boise State making things close right now with Maryville. And you can see the buys on both sides. There's going to be a bit of compromises both ways, and that's due to the back and forth nature of this opening 6 rounds.
Maryville, they have 3 ults to play with, though, and that's immediately what they're going to rush for. Even more trying to do that work. Renz, though, with quick Scream and hyperdrive. Prestige locks it away, but the beam is only stopped, not the rest of the opponents. Maryville, short TP by Shondex, quick plant going down by Cloric. Boise
Spike
State
planted.
overwhelmed in that rush attempt. And with 3 defenders backed into the C-long position, it's not looking exactly in their favor.
No, and it's all 3 of the defenders trying to retake through long. And long. It's a good 2. The problem is you still have to deal with Giza and Cloric here. They have a lot of time to burn.
One enemy remaining.
Oh.
Guys, I love that book. Taking a page out. Cloric locks it away. And now that dance shock bolt to finish. Really well done by Boise State. They're playing to the tune of Maryville, and they're taking the lead by 1.
And this is a match. Boise State ready and willing to take the fight to Maryville. They're putting it up right now, 4-3. Boise State are in the lead, and it's off the back of Skelesis and Master. Both having phenomenal games thus far. Just are looking for a little bit more as Maryville back to full rifles across the board. They do have the neural theft that they can use in the middle of the round. Guarantee themselves a call.
Scans out. Sniper
And
hits
has slipped the net.
Okay. This is going to get messy once more. This is going to be very messy depending on how this plays out. Weird position by Maryville as they rotate back, but 2 are pushed up block.
Oh,
1.
no. That's a huge ultimate burned. Maryville have no plans to go towards that B site. Though that kill onto Giza, that's huge. Especially considering Ange has the opportunity to kill a rotate.
Ren's able to fire back, though. As you mentioned, that lockdown completely gone, and Ange now complete lurk. The rat has found yet another mark, pushing them away. Another lurk towards B leaves Boise State in a position where they have to enter 2 from garage, 1 from long. And with the rest of Maryville coming in from CT. It will be that clean, but Prestige has been really, really good at these openers. Master's able to help out. 2v3, Boise State have a chance. Cloric rips it away, though. Puts it down to an even, but Prestige still pops out of the smoke.
And that's a stick.
Yeah, that's going to be it. Shots ringing out, no chance whatsoever. Well played by Boise State. Ange takes 1 for the road, but loses her life in return. Boise State marching to a tune we haven't seen in a while.
Yeah, this is very rare. We feel as if Maryville going into this clear favorites. That is not the case at all. Boise State showing this is a much more difficult match than initially led on. And we asked about heroes. I mean, you see it. It's that core, Master, Prestige, and Skelesis. All tuning in 8 kills apiece in the first 8 rounds.
All right. One's down, Renz back in form. Whenever not matched against Prestige. Master answers back, but you're alone here on the site. Teammate able to flood back on the site. It's a little bit blacked out here. Ange walking through that smoke, scans one, able to round out and lower. Hell is hell for a reason, but Koss is there to finish. 1-on-1. All you need is a tap, and Clorix is able to finish. Maryville going for those gun duels. Marks their 4th on the board.
Yeah, it almost felt like Boise State were playing the map so well. Maryville, they forgot that they do have a fair bit of just mechanical skill to them as we enter another tech pause. We can talk about the fact that Maryville, on any given day, has the 5 most mechanically gifted players in Division 1. I would say, as a unit, roll for roll. I don't know. Maybe you could argue that Infiltrator or Dinks could beat Renz as a duelist, but even then, I feel like that's such a slim margin.
It is, but I think Prestige is making at least some sort of attempt at a call to fame for that one. I mean, Prestige has been outclassing in some of these openers so far, at least 3 rounds where they have single-handedly given Boise State a really comfortable position to take over. Is the whole reason, it feels like. And it goes back to that question of who's a hero, right? Who is able to step up to that table? Who is able to step up, kind of drag the team forward? And at this point, it's not even a drag. It's Boise State just playing at a faster pace. They recognize and they're willing to take those risks. Renz this time given free lane into the long pathway for Maryville to get all 5 in sight. Boise State do have a couple ultimates. Vipers hit Hunter's Fury as well as that picking up on the back end. So opportunities abound, but Maryville gonna try and chip away at those opportunities. Retake not gonna work very well. Sky's eliminated off first entry. Rest of the defenders walking the way in from CT, but it's just a little bit too harsh on their sight lines. Ange inside of the smoke as well. That Viper's hit providing the perfect cover. Giza, really nice pop-up receive is gone. Renz with body shot to KOS, and then a slide to the dome. As Maryville flawlessly wipe out Boise State to tie it up 5-5.
So what happens when we talk about how maybe there are other people who could beat Renz as a duelist? Well, Renz just goes ahead, gets 2 on the round, puts Maryville back into contention, and again, we're talking about tying back up, and Maryville have a fair bit to work with, right? Cloric gets to use this Hunter's Fury kind of off the cuff. There's not a lockdown that's going to be available. The Skies Operator is something to be worried about, but NRG, they have a little bit of utility to work with to try and clear this out. You just don't want to lose Ange this early.
Nope. Good wall goes up. Allows a slight push, but Renz ready to dance. Shorty in hand and is able to pop Koss. Didn't think it was going to happen, but now given space. Garage Master shuts that down right away. Extra entry. Shondex follows through behind as this is a messy C-site fight. As everyone is scattered, we're lost in the sauce here. And we pop on out. Hunter's Fury. Skelos is one last shot. In the end of the blood, Maryville left with 2. Boise State need to pull off some magic here. Is it going to happen?
Skelos has to clutch once again. But they're on the board. Cloric sits and waits.
Now this is what
Shorty in hand. Maryville have guaranteed at least a tie half.
Round before the switch.
And Boise State, they burned 2 ults in that round. No more Not Dead Yet. No more Hunter's Fury. Renz still has that overdrive, and we know that Renz is good for at least 2 off that thing every time. Maybe it was just a slow start for Maryville.
I think it was as well, honestly. They're very much awake at the wheel now. Boise State, we're playing fast and loose with it, but in this quarter-mile chase, it's a whole different story. Renz coming off of the wings, willing to take that chance with the chase of a 1v1. A long-held eye spot and Renz across. Renz is just gonna straight up try to clock him. He's able to burn on through, grabs Prestige, that one marker that has been so dangerous in these openers. It creates so much space for Shondex and Giza to reach on in as well. Boise State broken on the defense. With 2 left alive and a lurk in between, it can be a very dangerous
enemy
game. There's a
remaining.
call out. Skelesis goes down. Giza, maybe not aware of Sky's walk, but with the judge in hand, any mid to long range is going to be in your favor. Giza shuts it down. 3K. Maryville, 7-5. A little bit more messy half than they would
Switching
like.
sides.
Yeah, I mean, that's a textbook Maryville round, though. Renz wrecks the site, and Giza gets to capitalize on those rotates. It works out perfectly, that 1-2 punch of Maryville. It does give them the lead at the half, but it's not to say that that was a bad half by Boise State at all. Reminder, it's still 7-5. Boise State have still done an excellent job here in the first half. Now they get to move on to the attack, which arguably would favor their comp, considering how together Skies and Master get to play.
Go, go, go!
And considering Master's been having a classy game already, the ability to trade out Skies should only add to that.
And saying I can frag out too. We'll be meeting
Allegedly.
Skies on that bottom side. How hard are they gonna push them? Oh, Skies. Skies
Okay.
tried, but Ange gets away with 2-piece robbery. Maybe a third as well. Yes, there it
Spike
is.
down A.
Striking out of the mines with a spike down. Rest of Maryville will look to collapse. Renz
Go, go, go!
earnestly coming around the side. Gets the info. 2 blinded out. Shock bolt to help out. And it's a walloping for a life for Maryville as they take that pistol.
Yeah. Wonderful round out from Maryville. We walk away. Very clean pistol off of the back of Ange. And Renz at the tail end, who got to dash in, get a couple kills. But the fact that Ange
I'm out of here!
is now halfway to that Viper's Pit, 1 round into the half, that's really scary, especially when you consider on a map like Haven just how suppressing that ultimate can be, completely take over one section of the map.
So slow. Renz peeks out, sees 4 bodies. I don't know about all 5. Yeah, one was all the way
Too
back
crazy.
to T-spawn. Skies, though.
Yeah.
Denies any further information. Smart play there. Mid to B. Checks corner. Checks one more. Might not be ready for this cross. Ange waiting on the flank with that Phantom can do a lot of work on their own. Sets a smoke behind. Sets up a wall in front. This is an awkward peek. There's that drop on that spike. You saw one more chase though, but you're still willing to catch any other entrance, which I really, really like. There's a pop out. Skies goes down. Ange in the front and center.
Enemy remaining.
Ready with the hard spray, unloads entirely, and then right click for the 4K! Ange brings Maryville to 9.
Just calm and collected from Ange. You can see it on his player cam. Like nothing happened. If you just looked at the player cam, you'd have no idea that he just mowed down 4. But he did. And now brings himself almost to the top of the leaderboard, just sitting behind Renz. A phenomenal round out from the Viper of Maryville. Just holding down the site. Playing off his utility. Capitalize off the anti-eco. Now Renz gets to go in, knowing that there are some compromises in the Boise State buy with this outlaw. And 2 players over towards C. It's Giza and Ange, the 2 most equipped to hold down the site.
Skies watching and hearing Koss lose their life.
Back off!
Renz
Oh
having
my.
the same. I mean,
He's in their
Maryville,
spawn.
yeah, straight up cleared them with double snipes. That is rude beyond belief.
1 enemy remaining.
Okay.
Again? Another headshot? Okay, I thought it was about to be 3. No.
Might be. There's still one more sniper to play. We have to be honest. There's another sniper. No. Okay. Hail of bullets to finish it. 10 for Maryville.
Just a B-hopping Giza. Why not? I think this is a well-equipped timeout now from Boise State. I think well-deserved. As I mean, you talk about Maryville through this first 5 rounds of defense, or 3 rounds of defense. Sorry, it's been all Maryville through and through. I think at this point, if you're Maryville, or not Maryville, if you're Boise State who called this timeout, you just got to slow the game down a little bit. not allow for so many gaps. And thankfully, this is not this round, but the next round would be to do it. Where you'd have full rifles.
Yeah, I could get behind that. Give themselves a chance to fight back and maybe give Prestige a little bit more room to work. Prestige, who opened up in the earlier stages of the first half, has yet to really shine here in the second. It feels like Maryville have really cut their marks down. And I do wonder if, for Boise State, it's a call. Hey, how are we going to create space for our team? How are we going to create that golden opportunity for the opponent? Or how do we shut down Maryville, who had just been explosive on some of these pushes? Take a look at the score line. Master, as you said, has been huge, stepping up for that space. Skelis is not too far behind. We've seen Skelis do some amazing work as well. But it's back to that default spike down in T. The push in garage could be on the table.
Toxins going up.
Oh. Cost already scanned. Position noted. It's going to have to be the double peek. And they do push Chloric off the line. They kill him. It's one way to do it. Huge, but Viper's Pit from Ange. It immediately covers all the space lost. That is a huge recovery for Maryville. It's going to be almost impossible to push into the A site through long. And with the smoke potentially cycled through short, means that that hold is going to be pretty easy for Renz.
Slowly working their way. Boise State. Sneaky deaky like 4 alive, but there is space. Good flow cover. Now they slide on out. Renz with a great flick grabs one, but Skies knew it was going to come and backup, ready to go. Skelis denies an additional refrag. Around the corner they go, though. Shondex denies that plant as well. It's denial upon denial upon denial. And now with the swarm as well, this just slows everything down. Good spike grab. 2v2. Boise State looking to plant. Prestige taps twice. Cost still alive. High ground taken though. Maryville needs to approach this very carefully. Another nano swarm. Heaven side Giza just waiting for that smoke to fall. 2-1. There it is. And new to tap Costs. One left alive for Prestige. Are you going to find it? Double swing to the left. Prestige swings left as well, but the right side is unfit for their eyes. Shondex able to keep Maryville up, and they are pushed to 11.
And that, another great round by Maryville. I'm trying to figure out if Skelesis had disconnected.
The spike is diffused.
Guess we're about to find out.
Shadows traveling.
But Maryville, again, just regroup on the numbers. It's that Viper's Pit that's used by Ange. As yeah, we are faced with another tech pause, but it's that Viper's Pit by Ange that completely allows for that hold to be so consistent. Obviously, you got to give credit to Renz for being able to get one in that very awkward position, but the trades just going the way of Maryville until that 2v2. Giza catching that player off guard and Graffiti forces Prestige into the 2v1. At that point, it's all Maryville, and they find themselves now up 6 rounds.
Yeah. It's been an explosive, but it's still within range of what we have hoped for Maryville, right? We've hoped for them to continue this kind of reign of supremacy. We want to see that status quo go. Yes, we like to see the shakeup here and there, but we also appreciate the fact that for Maryville, they don't really stumble, they don't get caught out. It's just they kind of regroup themselves to get back to their orientated power of we can out-frag, we can do all of these very specific pieces, and they just play their game at the end of it. Right now, we are looking at Maryville holding it down here with Chloric. Gonna be a menace here. Yeah, immediate spray. No! I haven't seen that in ages, man. Hard Odin spray. A couple kills on the smatterings. Shondex took one after a refrag. Boise State, 3 left alive after that one. Caught completely off guard with that push. Costs. Make sure that the enemy Viper isn't going to be pushing any further. But you are still locked down in your own spawn with not many options to go.
Yeah, it's a 3v3 though, so even numbers, and you do have a slight advantage in the HP. So As long as you're able to read this properly, the one problem is that you do have this C site still on lockdown due to Giza's utility. So there is full coverage across the entire map for the defenders. They do have all that information. You can see the rotations aren't going to be there. So the C site under siege. All the Maryville players too far away to really respond right now. It has to be the 3-on-3 retake, but Cloric's flank is gone undiscovered.
We'll spot it out now. That flank was not much of a flank, but it might be the entry push. Double K is going to give plenty of cover for Giza. Opens up Cloric for the snipe. Hunter's Fury catches in the back corner and alleviates opportunity for Shondex to close it out. Maryville are now on map point in a stylish fashion.
Yeah, now up 7 rounds to the better. Maryville. They'd really have to NRG their way to losing this game. Yeah,
I mean, what can we say?
Phenomenal performance. Huh?
I'm just sitting here going, what can we say about this game, man?
I mean, this is just solid offensive calling by Maryville, and we know, or defensive calling, and we know that Maryville's defense is something to be feared. Considering Cloric with his Odin still finding so much value and damage. I mean, Skies is, or Master, basically dead. Skies about half HP.
Shondex
Gun here.
already on the high ground. One of the few times where I don't think we've seen a full A entry check by the opponents, but Shondex really just waiting for someone to push a little bit further. Very nice smoke though on the top side. Shondex forced to look lower. Teammate rounding the side with that Odin still. Cloric just wants a reason. Just like, give me 2 reasons. Give me reason A and reason B. Both of those can be footsteps. There it is. Hard spray just to push them off. Boise State actually took some damage on the back end as well. Maryville just burning time.
Yeah, and that's the key, right? They've burned all this time, and look at the position of Renz, right? Deep on this flank, knows for a fact that these five Boise State players all over towards the A side of the map. And this is going to activate Renz. He's going to go. Skelesis gone along with the rest of the team in the blink of an eye. Giza farms up from main, and Maryville, after a tumultuous opening 10 rounds, close things out. They went from 5-5 to 13-5.
There, to me at least, is a reason why the Odin should be called the door stopper. That was a denial of entry if I've ever seen one. Maryville though, I think we're a little bit surprised by Boise State's willingness to play to the chaos, and I give a lot of credit because, as I said earlier, when you face off against a good team, you got to recognize that anything you do is going to be tough, so might as well go with something that is fun. Boise State came out with some heat. It just got heat checked at the end of the day, and it didn't really, pan out for the further rounds.
Well, and you still want to give credit to Boise State, right? We talk about Maryville as a team in chaos. Maryville also has thrived in chaos before. Yep. We've seen them as a unit just be so cohesive and on the ball and, as we call it, automatic, right? Where immediately they can adjust to any situation in a round and come out okay. And the fact that Boise State was neck and neck with them for the first 10 rounds of that game, I mean, you have to give credit to the Broncos. I mean, that was an impressive string of rounds. It's just that Maryville, they found their groove.
Yes, and that groove is very much settled into for Boise State. You put up a fight, but you got to do it one more time. We're heading to map number 2 in just a little bit to see if Maryville will continue their undefeated streak here in the season and in the series game their entire time here in Div 1, or will Boise State have something to say? And will they be able to leave a little bit of a cut on the Maryville record? We will see in just a bit. Don't go anywhere. We'll be right back.
What would you do if you couldn't fail? Would you see every setback as a catalyst to keep going? This is the innovator's mindset, because innovation demands daring. It's finding thousands of ways that don't work, and the one that changes everything. Because we know Changing the world doesn't happen by chance. It comes out of the blue.
Your learning experience should belong to you. At Maryville University, you choose your own path and forge your own future. Whether you're on the ground, online, or a combination of both, the Maryville experience is centered on you, the learner. As a leader in innovation and technology, we are prepared to take you from learner to earner and back again. Join us as we look to your future together.
People don't like to talk, only the text. Many times they give up on each other, go next. Fear being cast out, not that complex. We only need to realize and need them body back for us and not build a barrier around ourselves. Same ideology for riding many tracks. Get one point that would say otherwise. It's only in a discipline and not a bigger price. So in effect, when you cry on my shoulder, this might be the biggest showdown in myself. Don't try and pour ya, but all these ideas in my head are getting me to falter. Oh, sending me a big paragraph saying calm place I made when I left home. Red fair and square, yeah, I guess I'm alright now. Drenching my mind in the alcohol and everything is blessed. Every time they give up on each other, all my energy is played in my time in the energy. If you don't like the way I think, don't need to be the love of me. Try to fix my mind and the habits would be using me. All are in the way I see, cause I know that you embellish me. Tripping on my love, but I don't feel the same way. I'm sorry, baby, go ahead and kill me. You ripped out all the segments of my soul, cause you need me. With that, I'm still here distracted by the station. You cry on my shoulder, this might be the biggest showdown in myself. Don't try and pour ya, but all these ideas in my head are getting me to falter. Oh, you sending me a big paragraph saying calm place I made when I left home. Red fair and square, yeah, I guess I'm alright now. Drenching my mind in the alcohol and everything is blessed.
Once again, back for map number 2, Maryville, yet again, looking like the powerhouses that they are, but not without taking a few punches here and there. Boise State University have definitely done their homework and are trying out a couple new features in there to try and punch up at the Giants.
Yeah, I mean, we talk about the first 10 rounds of that game, and Boise State, they were looking really, really solid. They almost, I mean, they looked like the second best team in collegiate. That's really what it was. Maybe even the best, because there was a point where I think they were up 5-4. They were up 5-3. So sure, you could give them they look like the best team in collegiate. I'd be fine with that. But then all of a sudden, we get to round 11. Maryville flips the light switch. Everything changes. Maryville go on to win 8 rounds in a row and close things out. And it was 13-5.
Yep.
But in consolation, it was Maryville's map pick. So now we move to Boise State's pick of Corrode.
Yep, throw them for a loop a little bit if you wish. Will it work? Nobody really knows. Corrode is always a map that can cause a little bit of conflict. I think we've seen teams that you specifically were talking about before, or you and I have actually talked off on air. Some teams actually specialize on the Corrode map, and it still doesn't exactly fall their way. So the fact that we're bringing it out in map 2, I don't know how much experience BSU currently have on that map. But if it is going to be enough, then hey, maybe they can punch up, as we say. But for Maryville, it is going to come down to those gun duels. And I mean, yeah, Renz struggled a little bit in the earlier 10 that we mentioned before, but by the end of it was clicking, getting those domes, getting those flashy swings and everything like that. Where do we see a flaw in Maryville's play, if there is one, in your opinion?
Is that enough said?
Yeah.
I don't know if you can necessarily pinpoint a flaw in Maryville's game plan that you're going to be able to exploit. I think for Boise State, really what you're looking for is creating opportunities to get an opening duel, right? And this is really where we're going to see how Boise State can game plan that. And you're going to see it between Skies, Master, and Skelesis. Maybe Prestige as well if the Vise utility is being used to set up Skies and Master for opening duels. But really, that's the way you have to start against this Maryville team, is you need to create an opening before you can capitalize, right? Maryville's not a team where they're going to give you a chance in a round early. You have to make that chance for yourself. So as we start, Boise State now starting on the defense. Maryville on the attack.
And will there be a shift? Who knows? Maybe so. Maryville taking a chance to go around the corner, and Boise State take full control. Giza is on deck. Happy about that play for Koss. On the other side, Maryville. On attack are looking a little bit stronger here. Koss running away for the moment here on defense. Looks like we actually have Aid hopping in here on the attacking end. So a little bit of a shift of the roster play as well.
Yeah, mid-series swap, why don't you? But it is Boise State now down 3-4. I mean, you have Skelesis on this flank, but Aid was watching this for at least one moment. But there's the rundown.
You like it. You give credit. I mean, Maryville have consistently shown that they can swing with the best of them. Skelesis was able to take one frag at the end, but it's still a pistol to Maryville as they start things off with a bang.
Yeah, it's that MSI pistol round. Goes the way of Maryville. Ignore what the banners say at the top of your screen. Maryville did end up winning that first round. And they get rewarded again. I think this is the third pistol they, or did Boise State win the first pistol on Haven?
Yes, they did.
Yeah.
Because they took a pretty hard running leap in there from Prestige.
So Boise State 2 for 3 on pistols. But it's Maryville. Good opener out from Aid, but Master and Renz trading through the kill feed. 3-on-4, Maryville with the player advantage.
And with a might better angle if I do say so myself. There it is. Eyes out. Ren's able to live on 20. Prestige goes down. And the 4v2, Maryville just want to close this one out nice and pretty. Giza with that heal. Tosses back to a teammate. And Boise State going. I'm not sure how we want to play this. Breaks down that wall, but not much more on the back end. Do you want to give over an orb and an ult? That's what's going to happen. Giza with the rundown. Phantom bot up. Feels pretty dang good for a Sage.
And all that's needed at this point is to get that kill onto Master, or maybe Master just goes down to the... Wait a minute. Okay. No, there's no...
I like that Aid had to finish it off.
Yeah.
Drops that gun as well, but I mean, just to really make sure it's good.
I'm not tired. Are you?
Just a Guardian. No one's gonna miss it. You're in the bonus now. Aid realistically can just take a drop from someone else and does just that. So, Boise State, nothing given over just yet in terms of clean openings, but still long ways to go before you could even call this game over. 11 rounds at a minimum. So, toss sits, holds.
Oh my gosh.
Wow.
Oh.
Okay.
Okay.
Renz.
Ren's decided to have a bit of fun with that Bucky. A quick run it back being utilized here. Maryville dropping a few though, as Master was able to hold on to their own.
One
two
enemy
piece
remaining.
for the Master themselves. Skelsis with the third.
Careful now.
Mork was able to find a mark on one, but Master with a 3K total brings
Not ready
Boise
yet.
State to their round victory. Early standard for Valorant completed 2-1.
Yeah. Master and Skelesis both. The 1-2 punch of this Boise roster right now. Boise State roster. And it gets them their first round on the board. They keep it in somewhat clean fashion. You can see the buy up across the board. It's 5 rifles in the hands of Boise State. The only fear is that Maryville, with the couple concessions they've made, it looks like they want to go for a fast play, especially through mid. And Renz is already up, trying to take that fight to skies.
Crawler goes out, Ren's caught in the crossfire, but there's a little float as Skelesis is used like a pinata. Shondex follows suit. Boise State lose to defensive position on this B site. With A site defenders rotating on over. It might be too little too late. He's going to try to take one with them. Gets 2 for their troubles. Much more than I think they thought. Really, really well done on their end. But Boise State still got to clean
fear!
Still very workable for Boise State, though. It's a 2v3. Skies does have the recall available.
Looking. Oh, might find Cloric's backside, but Aid spots them out. Teammates with them, so it's a difficult entry in. Shondex with 3K, building into that ultimate standard. Toss marks one more before falling, but still 2 left alive. Maryville, comfortable play to this third round for themselves.
Yeah. Maryville keep it clean. They get those 2 opening picks in mid, and that's enough. Even though it was good hold on the site from Prestige to try and even up the numbers, Maryville can trade out a 5v3, and they get rewarded now up 3-1. Opportunity now with a all but full save. Maybe you consider Master's hero rifle and a not dead yet to be able to find some value here.
Fast-paced mid. Not held by Master. It's Skelesis. They're going to go to the shooting range. Giza, though, turns it on. The Master with a quick revive. Is it going to be permanent or only temporary? That's the big question. Walls up.
Wow.
That is rude to another degree. Timing-wise, you were able to make it permanent, but only for a moment. Aid flushes you out once more. 3 total against Boise State. Still 3 left alive as well. Spike plant opportunity, though, for B, as there's only 1 defender Prestige with the Sheriff in hand. Ain't able to make too much of damage.
No, and now Prestige. Such a tough spot. Cloric ready and aiming. already deep into defender spawn. Skies just gets to sit, hold inside the smoke.
There it is, Shondex happy. Takes one, Aid does the same, and Giza ends it with the 3K. Battle Sage is online. Maryville looking for a clean up in this map too.
And that's the thing about this Maryville attack side, is they're just so strong with the sheer amount of utility they can flood you with, right? Between the double entries of Renz and Chloric, Shondex constantly having some sort of information for either of these duelists to play off of. And then just when you think you've killed them, Giza gets to use the heal, Resurrection when it's online.
Renz looking for the mark. Toss having to walk away. Spotted but not deterred. As Renz is still holding this. Master, let's do the opener. Pathway is being utilized. Good catch. Maybe he can find a little bit more. Renz sees an opportunity. Sprays one. Sees one around the corner. March yet again. Two-piece for that duelist. For Skelos' life as well. Skelos is able to fire back. Skies rips Giza away, and it's 1v3. Maryville might have pushed a little bit too hard for their own worth. And now Shondex is left in this disadvantageous position. Sees the body on one, but maybe not the second. Caps grabs Skies. And you got 50 seconds to play with. This is very doable for Shondex. Skelos, though, another fake tap. You're trying to draw them out.
One more. It'll work this time.
Yes, there it is. Oh no, you got a full plant?
Okay.
Spike planted. I'll find you.
Call. Oh, info granted. Double info. The fade being fade. It always leads to a weird situation. There. Oh, using the nightfall, but Shondex reads it first. Before you suppress it all, it's a clutch up for Shondex, marking it to 5.
Yeah, it's, again, Boise State getting the opener that time onto Aid. It's still not enough. Maryville capitalized perfectly, and it's from the convergent paths from Renz. Able to find a double entry, bring the numbers back into Maryville's favor. And sure, Shondex has to do a little bit of 1v2 at the very end, but still not nearly to the same levels of clutches that we've had to see out the players from Boise State. Prestige, though, huge entry. Only Chloric was able to get the trade.
You'll take that 1 HP moment. Giza finishes it off. Now in the corner pocket. Prestige goes down. Another round. Kosh cannot land that head. And it's just the overwhelming firepower. Maryville reading the econ right. Clean take. Only losing one. Maryville on that warpath.
No charges left.
Yeah, Maryville showing no signs of slowing down either. Up 6-1, and again, this is just how big of a Hydra this team is. Sure, you have to deal with Chloric using the run it back deep into the B site. On the other end of things, what's happening over towards mid? It's Giza and Aid just running it up, choking out Boise State, making sure that they can't capitalize on any sort of space being given over, surrounded by all angles. It's Boise State back to the drawing board, back trying to fight early.
That was a really good mark. Skies opens with first blood. Chloric goes down. No running back this time. Heals up, though. Whaley in the backside. Renz kept topped up. Rest of Boise State, though. Long angle flanks. Take a look at this. The wraparound might be a little bit of magic that is necessary. Oh, no. Prestige! That feels bad. That was almost a freebie. Thankfully, Master was there to clean it up. 3 on site, though, for Maryville. Well, 2 with 1 lurk outside. Ren's going to try and make something work in a 1v3. A little bit of a surprise jump with his dash over.
Not
caught.
cleared.
Recall. And now Master takes the opportunity. Shondex rips Cost apart.
Last player standing.
The Master is on one now in a flow state against 3K. Aid last one alive. And against 4/5 of the Boise squad. I think that's going to be the finisher. Prestige closes it out with the final kill. Boise State, after watching 5 rounds pass, are able to get their second.
Push a button.
Finally,
Save the
Boise
day.
State, they put a second on the board, and it was a very clean round at that, right? Not overwhelmed, not just dumping a bunch of ultimates into a round to get it across, right? Very measured
Launching thorns.
out from Boise State. And honestly, if this is how they can put rounds on the board, if this is how they can get it across, I'm all for it. There's solid play in mid, solid crossfire between Master and Skies. Good mid clear so Renz couldn't capitalize on any rotations. Maryville do seem that they want to go back towards mid, but it's 3 players for Boise State out over towards the B side. If they can catch Giza off guard, that would be a huge way to start the round.
Nope, it's Giza. Giza is the one catching them by surprise. Giza
No way!
takes a 3K. The battle stage is right back to it. Did it in round 2, doing it in round 9. That's dirty. Skeletons doing the exact same though. But Aid able to complete the full house. Maryville doing some work. But Boise State still showing that they got some bite to them.
Yeah, Boise State now. I mean, that's a heartbreaking round to lose, especially after the way that you were able to take round number 9, or round number 8, and then all of a sudden Maryville just tells Giza to go on a warpath over towards B, and then goes on a warpath over towards B. I mean, it is just tragic. Once again, back to the drawing board. It's this mid-pressure fully going through by Maryville. Skies needs to run away as fast as possible. Just barely gets out.
Still marked, but open up space for Master to squeeze out one. Or it gets refrag. Master rips through, and it has that opportunistic ult at the end, thanks to 3 to their name. Unfortunately, Renz denies further accomplishments. Puts Master right back to that camera. Boise State, 3 alive, can do some work. The B site will have to be retaken. Maryville comprehensively putting up a defensive block out here. Mid held, Renz once again on that wrap position. Prowler to turn the corner for Renz, unable to destroy it in time. Smoke able to do work for the right side corner. Prestige ready with the right click. Down goes Renz, and Boise State once again put themselves in prime position to try and take this round. Will Maryville frag out though? That big question. Up comes the mine. Lorick waiting in your primary is jammed. The cost wasn't caught. Beautiful play by Boise State as they systematically take this round. Aid doesn't have anything to do with it. 3rd for Boise State.
Yeah, unfortunate for Aid, but didn't have the Vandal on the revive from the Not Dead yet, so couldn't even hope for a chance in that round. And so Boise State, much needed 3rd round. They do have a chance to still bring this to a 5-7 half, and it's not a bad chance either. There's a lot of opportunity for them, especially considering the bye for Maryville here isn't all that great, and if they can bring this round across, it would make an eco round for 12 out from Maryville, or just a very awkward 4-5. Also forced off the angle, Skelesis as well. But the rotations are fast for Boise State. 4 players in the court zone.
The Nightfall cost with the hard rush. Makes it look easy though with Master on the wings. It's like two buddies just being able to be wingmen together. Aid though, fires right back. Cost takes a powerful one. Resurrection though, out in open territory. Skelesis goes skeet shooting, and it's a freebie for their own. Good blind over the wall though, and Clark and Giza clean up. Rebound by Maryville to outdo Boise State's play. Can Prestige outdo the outdoers though? Giza hopping around. Find that mark. Good ping 1. Blind around the corner though. And Clark takes just a bit more advantage. Boise State made that pretty dang close, but Maryville still come out on top.
Yeah. Just barely. You think Prestige doesn't get noticed on the flank, able to find Giza. It turns into the 1v1, but there's Chloric. Curveball in hand, sends that thing flying into the sky. Maryville are able to close it out, guarantee themselves at least 8-4 with potential for more, considering Boise State have to make some concessions here in round 12. 2 players forced down to Sheriffs.
Bring them down.
Still
They're
hope,
blind
though.
with fear. Take hold.
Skelesis and Master. Both ready and waiting. Had pretty good series so far.
Face your fear!
It's a split. There's already 3 players in mid.
There's Dash. Recall not needed. Skelesis reaches out because Skelesis really read that well. Maryville had no right standing there. And yet Clark is able to grab one back, but you need more than just one. You need about 2 more to bring it to a head. Will it work? One off of that running back. If you frag one, able to maybe pop that running back. Get a little bit more space. Skies, though. Great from Shondex. There it is. Clark. 11 HP. Dances around the side. Taps out.
Surely
11
not.
HP. Ain't no way. Ain't no way. There's the running back, baby. Refresh it up. And you're going to walk your way back instead. You know the spike's still down. Back time. Oh, no. Oh, no, Master. Well waited. Smiles on his face. He knew he had that in the bag.
Yeah. Cloric
Switching sides.
tried to play it, but Boise State knew that Cloric was contained to such a small space. It's just about playing the time, and it works out in Master's favor. At the very least, Boise State, they grab 4 rounds, and the one positive is all 4 of those rounds in the first half were rifle rounds, right? So we know that on Corrode, Boise State, when they have the full weapons in their hands, they can do good on the investment. So if you can walk away from this half with a pistol and the anti-eco, make it 6-8, that gives you a ton of promise moving into the rest of Corrode.
Second pistol. First of the half. Last time it was Maryville that took it away, but the firefights have gone either way now, as it looks like Skelesis has really opened up here. Skies from one
Huge
apart,
opener.
but really traded out their HP for it.
Yeah, but at the very least... Oh, I was going to say, you got the weapon advantage just with the extra gun, but Renz can even things out. Sure, loses HP in the process, but still have plenty enough to work with.
They are backed into a corner, though. Minute left on the clock, but they do have to make a choice on where they wish to push.
The advantage is, though, you have both players on Maryville are kind of split, right? 2 on 2. Sure, it's a quicker rotation to be, and that is where the stack is going to end up. But you still have time to rotate. The problem is Giza's already on the flank.
Giza, I think, is going to be more than happy about that one. Great pincer maneuver forces the aggression, and yet again, it's Giza on this battle stage that makes it a full house. Renz 3K for themselves, and Maryville take yet another pistol for their name.
Yeah. Now 3 for 4 on pistols. And they extend that round lead. Now up to 5, looking for 6. And it just felt like the call at the very end was a bit panicked from Boise State. Weren't expecting that Giza flank. So, for Boise State, patience needed. There's the wall for Giza with a stinger. Knowing Giza, this is going to work somehow, and then he's going to drop down and get another 2. Oh, well, never mind.
You jinxed it.
Spoke
You
too
jinxed
soon, I
it,
guess.
man.
Yeah, my bad. My bad, Giza.
All right. Well, Renz is able to claim one back. Shondex with the cross brings it once more. Boise State stopped at the doorway and now pushed further into their own safe zone. Will it actually work as Giza, 23 HP, blinded out with the rest of the team, but I mean, this is a full onslaught from Maryville, hunting down poor Master. Maryville, 3 away from the series victory.
Yeah. Maryville just run him down. Sure, it wasn't the self wall from Giza that ends up working. Instead, it was, probably the quick rotations and the ability to swarm onto the push that Boise State was trying to do. Maybe that. But now the name of the game at this point for Maryville is damage. The more kills that you can get on a round-to-round basis, regardless of whether or not Boise State win, is really all that you're going to need. It's a war of attrition.
Boise State, be resilient. Fight that battle. Endure out. Floric says no. Prestige unable to survive under that wall of fire. Now hoping for a chance as well. A little bit of an orb. Shondak still rips one before. And then catches guys unknowingly. And Maryville.
And look
once
at Cloric.
again, just taking those moments, and there it is.
Down, mid.
Pincer secured spike down, flawless for Maryville. I mean, it's Maryville at the end of the day still.
Yeah. Why not? Why not just sub out Ange mid-series and the substitute you put in outperforming everyone on Boise State? You know, that's just the type of system that Maryville has. It's been working to their favor thus far. Running back available yet again. Skelesis pushed so far back.
Look at that. Look at this. Zero fear, by the way. Zero fear here. Okay, Giza. Okay. There's a world where the Sage isn't out-fragging multiple other members. Quick tap towards that corner. No dice whatsoever. Giza's slowing them all down. Shondek's able to cover the backside. Skelis is a master, though. Able to answer with some stylish kills. And Master does it again. Cloric knocked out of that running back. Aid holding a far angle, though. Flash around the corner. Routes on in. Where are you going? Cloric right in the middle. No cares in the world. Skelis is going to try and work the magic, but the jumping shorty will clear it in Maryville. 1 away from the series ender.
Match point.
Yeah, Maryville. Once again, just a flawless second half. Found their flow. Aid topping the leaderboard here. Subbing in for Ange. Just having an absolute game. And for Boise State, it's your last chance.
Be right back.
All of your weaponry that you have, it's gone into this round. Sky's looking over towards this A site. Aid might have a timing in mid. Oh no.
Do it to him. Do it to him. All the info in the world. Aid and Giza walking one back, but Koss and Skelesis still fighting like their life depends on it. Skelesis, a light in this map number 2. Koss doing the exact same as a secondary. Aid now locked into a corner, still needing a teammate in a 2v3. Boise State's desperation might have netted them an extra round. Is this a start of that comeback?
Spike planted.
The problem for Maryville right now is Skelesis in mid. And if Skelesis can find that kill, that made it a guarantee, but instead, Cloric evens up the numbers and make things a lot scarier for Boise State. They just walk through the molly.
Uh-oh, uh-oh. That Vice strip was actually really good.
It'll
out for a moment, gives him an opportunity, but that's a spray of 1-for-1. Prestige looking with the Odin, rips him apart. There it is. Boise State claims their round. And will stay alive for one more or more.
Just barely scrape it across, but better late than never. You grab that 5th round, put it on the board, make sure that Maryville can't get a flawless half. And it gives you another glimmer back into this game. You have 3 ultimates to work with. Steel Garden and the Nightfall potentially used for an execute.
There.
You're back in this 3-1-1 spread, and this B site for Maryville completely vacant. If Boise State have the read. But now the rotates are back in. 2 players, make it 3 backfilling that space.
Buddy copping it up.
Right here.
No hard push from Boise State just yet. They are really digging their time here. I don't disagree with it. But I am scared for what happens if a rush is forced out of them.
Well, the one thing that you can say about a rush is at the very least you have 2 ultimates to work with, right?
True.
Face your fear!
That's
Well-
one of them gone, but you trade out. Sky's dead in exchange for the ult, but Aid continues to fire away. It's now a 3v4.
No revive either. Resurrection unable to be confirmed for Maryville. Now it's a self-revive that they got to play with.
Launching thorns.
35 seconds
Thorns
left.
activated.
3v4. Bottleneck together here. It is doable. 2 cover, 1 plants.
30
3 fire
seconds
corner.
left.
Up to go here. Sean Dex setting up things for the rest of the team. Out they rush, but Koss knocks one away. Refrag. Prestige still with that Odin, making it difficult.
One
Red goes down. The gun not in hand. That's his Boise State to put Maryville back down and said, you do not get to enter for
Control the
free.
space. Control their choices.
Yeah. Boise State. And it's the Prestige Odin, of all things, to really be a thorn in Maryville's side. But it's working, and it's getting Boise State these rounds. And you talk about the ultimates that they used. It was just the Nightfall. Sure, Master did pop the Not Dead Yet at the very end, but it was not a necessary ultimate. Speaking of, Maryville now 5 on the other end of things. Does mean that even if Boise State can grab this round, the one
Doing a
following,
thing.
not going to be easy by any means.
Oh, Skies. I do love the abandon that Boise State feel like they are playing with right now.
Oh yeah.
They still have, you know, that concise game plan that they have always had since the beginning, but it feels like they've kind of thrown caution to the wind. They're going for frag moments where normally they wouldn't, and it's netting results here. Look at this yet again. They turn onto Giza 2 fire, and it's led them to this 5v2, one of the largest advantages we have seen them have this map, nay, this series long.
Blinding Pratt.
That it's going to continue. Skies rips him apart. 1 left alive. It is all down to the poor Fade. And it looks like they might
Sean
be
Dex
safe at the
1v5
end.
incoming?
We're just jinxing it all day long, huh?
Right? It just this is what we have to do. This is how we get Boise State to get more rounds. Is we just keep saying that Maryville's gonna like 1v4, 1v5. No. Sean Dex goes for the save. Mathematically the right play. Keep this, I think, hero buy Vandal from Renz.
I love this one.
Play it again.
One more time.
Yeah.
There you go. Okay, I didn't catch it that first time.
Yeah, one more time?
Oh, dang. Okay.
Okay.
Idea. Again.
It's a good song.
Their fear is a trap, and the trap is fresh.
So,
okay.
Okay, well, this is the round that we were really talking about for Maryville, though, right? You have the full rifles online, 5 ultimates. This is really where the test for Boise State is going to come in, because if Maryville just empty the kit here, which they very well could do, maximize their chance of winning a single round, Boise State, you have to do the same in response. So you have to see what this convergent paths from Skies is going to be able to get done. As 3 players immediately towards mid. Oof. Sean Dex play the song?
Needs the power up boost. Come on.
Yeah.
Oh, no music so far. I think just jump pinking, right call. Just trying to make sure that mid is free. But should see eyes down the line this time around. The rest of Boise State recognize that we called it before, the kind of the ult rush is the best way to put it, will be damaging if you aren't careful. This one nice and slow. Odin to cover fire. Master catches Ren's napping there. Yet again, Boise State marching to the beat of their own drum. Back away from that mid, now position over towards B.
Yeah. And this is a huge opportunity. But if Aid finds a kill here, that he does. It's immediate.
Uh-oh. Run, Aid. Are you able to get back? Yes, you do, and you get the teammate to back you as well. Pop around the corner, though. Prestige was ready to go. Outside,
30
the Twisted
seconds left.
Vines. The Garden is entered. 3v3 though. Remember, the running back is still available, plus the resurrection. This could easily turn to a 4v3, and that might be what they're looking for. Sky's maybe anticipating that factor.
100% knows.
Yep.
Giza is aware of this position. It makes things so much easier. No way.
Maryville, solid understanding of where the opponent is going to be, reading each other like a book. Kosh though, ripping one apart. Giza, Pharaoh sus prestige, and Ren closes it off. That will be the GG moment, as it will be Maryville after a slick couple rounds to finish off their 5th series 2-0.
Defenders win.
Yeah. Not just 5-0. If you look at the map count, they're 10-0. They literally haven't dropped a map. And they've already played St. Clair. They already played West Virginia. They've gone through all the big boys. The only one that's left is Winthrop.
Yep.
That's week 7. So flawless. A flawless season so far in 5 weeks.
I will say though, it's not without some mistakes. We mentioned that Maryville played their game, and yeah, maybe they got a little bit sloppy, but Boise State, let's give some credit. Never really felt like they fully gave up. There are moments where obviously you feel a little bit overwhelmed with the pressure that Maryville's putting down, but I will always say if a team is able to kind of push themselves to play at a faster pace, recognizing the opponent's going to push them, recognizing that it's going to come down to a gun duel, I think Boise State do have what it takes. Again, we're seeing those glimmers of the playbook, of the skill level come out every so often. It's becoming much more cohesive as the series, as the season goes along.
And that's 100%. I agree. I think even just looking at that map, the fact that they took 8 rounds off of Maryville, and a bunch of those were in a row on the attack side, was just phenomenal to watch out from Boise State. So in these last couple of weeks where Corrode still will be in the map pool, I think you have to give a lot of care to Boise State, especially surrounding this Corrode pick. We've seen them challenge teams on it before, and I think that they can do it again in these coming weeks. We talk about the playoff picture for Boise State now, right? They've gone 1-4. This is where things get a little dicey for them, because it kind of puts them in the same spot with Utah and Ohio State. And those teams will end up playing each other in these last 2 weeks. And the team of those 3 to win 2 games, to win 2 series, so I guess for Boise State, all they need to do is win 1, will be the team that's in playoffs. So those last 2 weeks between those 3 teams are really going to determine who makes playoffs and who sits out. So,
it's scary. And it's a position that you don't want to be in, but here is where you're at. We're seeing the glimmers. Boise State, they're coming together, but they need to come together just a little bit faster for these last few series. We have 2 more weeks left in the regular season for Valorant before we hit those playoffs and before we see teams truly duke it out once more. But before we end out this week, we do want to get a couple eyes on what Maryville had to offer here today. Full roster, at least for map number 1, gave us a good show. Aid stepped in for map 2. And maybe a couple eyes on an interview status for what their thoughts are. Looking forward to the matches ahead. Don't go anywhere. Division 1 VAL will continue in just a bit.
What would you do if you couldn't fail? Would you see every setback as a catalyst to keep going? This is the innovator's mindset. Because innovation demands daring. Is finding thousands of ways that don't work. And the one that changes everything. Because we know changing the world doesn't happen by chance. It comes out of the blue.
Your learning experience should belong to you. At Maryville University, you choose your own path and forge your own future. Whether you're on the ground, online, or a combination of both, the Maryville experience is centered on you, the learner. As a leader in innovation and technology, we are prepared to take you from learner to earner and back again. Join us as we look to your future together.
the one knowing you left with. Connected. Let's just hit the plug and get connected. Feel it through your body, don't want my electric.
If you feel the way I do, go make you move. 'Cause I need you to help me for the night. So feel the way I do, go make you move. 'Cause I need you to.
Can't focus, but your body give me clarity. I can tell the way you move and how you stare me. I'm obsessed with the way you caress me. I undress you with my eyes and you bless me. I confess my love and affection. I'm blinded by all the imperfection. Recognize the dark in you perfection. Can't wait to make you my selection. One side, let's get connected. West side, let's get connected. East side, let's get connected. South side, let's get connected. Worldwide, let's get connected. Local side, let's get connected. Online, let's disconnect it. Offline, let's get connected.
Let's get connected. The way I do, go make you move. 'Cause I need you to help me for the night. So the way I do, go make you move. 'Cause I need you to.
I need you. One side, let's get connected. West side, let's get connected. East side, let's get connected. South side, let's get connected. Worldwide, let's get connected. Local side, let's get connected. Online, let's disconnect it. Offline, let's.
We are here with the man that stepped in at the last moment or maybe pulled away to be pushed into the map. We have Aiden, who stepped in for map number 2, gave us a pretty dang good show, and led Maryville, or at least was one of the prime stars of why Maryville are still undefeated. Aiden, congratulations on the win. You are not Leone, by the way. Congratulations on the victory. How are you feeling after that win?
I mean, I feel great. I mean, as we were talking before, I'm down to go back to Rocket League. I can just go chill, and now I had to get that map out of the way, and now I'm here.
Yeah, I mean, I literally, like you mentioned, right, playing Rocket League, and then halfway through the series, they just go, "Hey, Eng isn't feeling well. Can you step in?" Not only do you step in, you then like are the best player in the map. So, I mean, what is that like for you, like mentally, to just like come in halfway through a series and then just perform like that?
I mean, they're a great group of guys, so like, we were just all vibing, and I mean, especially in Valorant, you just have to vibe, and you'll just do whatever. If everyone's on the same page, which sometimes we were, but sometimes we weren't, like, it's just, we could steamroll.
Yeah, and let's talk about the guys as a whole for a minute. Right now, we're almost 2 weeks out from the end of the spring split for Division 1, and Maryville not only undefeated in the series count, also in the map count, right? Hasn't even dropped a map yet as a school. I just kind of wanted to get your initial reaction to that, and then also, do you think that's a trend that's going to keep continuing as we approach playoffs and then get through playoffs?
We'll see if we'll get it through playoffs, but I think to get to playoffs, I think, yes, it's going to stay the same. I think we're going to try to 2-0 everyone. But in playoffs, people are going to bring their A game, so I definitely think it's going to be a lot harder.
Yeah, I think that hard part also comes in the form of your last match of the regular season. Now, I don't know what you guys plan to do, obviously, and I don't want to dig too deep into the roster ideas. I don't want to dig up, the plans. I don't think that's very fair to anyone, especially you guys. But you are going to face off against Winthrop, and a lot of the analysts and pretty much any viewer, anyone that's a fan of either school, is assuming that this is going to be undefeated versus undefeated. On your own scale, are you excited? Are you determined? Do you have any thoughts about what that matchup could look like?
My one thought is I saw that alley clip yesterday, and I mean, I'm ready to see another one. But I also want to have a good match, so.
We saw the alley clip. I think the week before there was a Governor clip where Governor got a 4K in like the same manner. I mean, that's gonna be Clash of the Titans right there.
Yeah, for sure.
100%.
We love it. We love it. And honestly, Aid, thank you very much for stepping in for the interview. Congratulations to you guys on that victory. We'll let you go back to your chilled time, hang out, and have the fun. Again, congratulations on your victory tonight.
Thank you so much. Thank you guys.
With that being said, I mean, that's as simple as it gets. Aid stepped in for a map, stepped right back out, did their job, and it really does feel for Maryville, it is a job at the end of the day. They know how to excel at that job, and they define meeting and exceeding expectations on that report.
Yeah, and like we mentioned, still remaining undefeated heading into the last 2 weeks of the regular season, alongside Winthrop, also undefeated. That week 7 matchup, I think, is what we're all geared up towards. And also, like we mentioned, it's not doom and gloom for Boise State. That was a very impressive showing throughout the series. And the fact that now all they have to do, win one series at the tail end of the season, they've confirmed playoffs for themselves and have a chance to go on a run. That's all you can ask for, especially when they were putting up rounds like that against Maryville.
100%. And I really do hope they carry that confidence into the future. You mentioned before, they only really need one series victory to kind of push themselves over that goal line, reaching in. And yeah, you might face off against a very tough opponent once more, but you made it. That's what we're looking for Boise State. There's a lot left on the table, and there are 2 more weeks of the regular season that we'll get to watch a lot of these teams still play. So make sure to keep up with all the Div 1 action across the board, not just here on Valorant, but also on the League of Legends side, which I think also concluded with the Maryville victory in that same turn. I want to give a big shout out once more to MSI for sponsoring the Division 1 side of things. We had a lovely time watching all these matches, and it wouldn't be possible without the help of those that give us that support as well. We'll see you all next week, though, starting Sunday for week number 6. Div 1 Val will be back and enjoying some more BO3s. My name is Orbital. With me has been Ancient Angel. We had the ever so amazing Chippy with us here as well, and Abix on the observation. Thank you so much for tuning in. We'll see you all next time.
Zero, one, go pick your type. Don't think, just fall